Hey everybody, my name is David. This is High Shelf Gaming, and tonight, Cyberpunk Red. We are playing on Sunday nights because every so often we get Mike again, who is playing Dexy tonight. And so we have kind of a crew that can play on Sundays and a crew that can play on Saturdays, and we swap when we can, right? And so tonight we are picking up with Dexy and crew. We were all at Roy's Cafe. Dexy, you've been here enjoying the colacheritos and the
Molash.
what are some of the other menu items that we've been
Molash. Mole and goulash. Molash.
Yes.
yes, all the molash that we can
That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. Just
yeah.
to do this.
I'll put you down
Everything
there.
else is like something in a ball. That one is like legitimately different.
Yeah. Exactly. And so we are at Roy's after a hair-raising mission last week on Saturday, where shit went down fast, and everybody had to move quick, get the family moved, get the world moved, and all of that good stuff. Oh, you know what? I have not even put up the Twitter stuff for us going live tonight. I'm silly. Moving on. So general announcements. High Shelf Gaming is let's see here. We are gaming every Wednesday nights. We play Blades in the Dark, and then every weekend we play either Saturday or Sunday. We play this game. And I'm working on a Werewolf the Apocalypse game. I have like one more character to get made, and then I think we're kind of ready to go on that one. And yeah, started recording podcast episodes again, starting to edit those again. So like the podcast is going to be a thing again, and that's exciting. I'm very excited for that.
Yay!
Yeah. Let's see here. Last thing, we are doing a bunch of stuff. What is there's a whole bunch of virtual conventions we're looking at. Like we've got a little Facebook thread going on with all of them. I'm kind of looking through them and figuring out which game I can take on, or which of those virtual conventions I can do. So, audience, if you know of a virtual convention that you're hyped for, let us know, because like I'm currently hunting for virtual conventions to attend. So yeah, good stuff all around there. Any other things that I'm like forgetting to announce, gang? Ethan, you're working on something. I don't think we need to be talking about it just yet. Yeah, you're still in idea mode.
That's in pre-alpha.
Pre-alpha mode. All right, cool.
Pre-alpha.
Yeah. Why am I even talking about it now? That's too much.
Just don't even too much. It's gonna be spooky. I'll tell you that.
Too soon.
Yeah, don't you have a name for it already?
Oh yeah, what was it? Horrific spooky gaming. Something like
I'm into
I
it.
can keep the acronym. I can keep the same.
Yeah. We'll just get the logo to be corrupted with like little spider webs and like broken glass.
Yeah.
You just fill the letters with ghosts.
Yes.
Fill them with ghosts.
Oh my god, little gravestones, grave markers.
Perfect.
So good.
Wow, it's coming together.
So good. Yeah,
coming
this
together.
is it basically writes itself at this point. We're ready to print. Like
We're ready to print.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Tonight, you all have kind of a tenuous agreement with Roy here. I should go get a photo for Roy, but you've got this guy who runs this Chexican restaurant / gas station / motel out on Highway 50. And Roy's great. Nicest guy in the world with skin weave. It's like one of the lower end skin weaves that doesn't provide tons of protection, but if you look real close, you can see like a hairline seam in his face where the weave is embedded in his dermis. And Roy, you all have learned through some amazing hacking by the great and powerful Oz that Roy's is a money laundering shop for Shiv Rav, who are like your number one nemesis out here in the wasteland. But Roy himself is a great dude, and has sponsored his brother and sister-in-law and their dream of making a Mexican restaurant. So, though Roy fronts for deplorable, terrible people, the food's pretty great.
To be fair, Shiv Rav isn't just our nemesis on the wasteland. They're everyone. They're just the nemesis. If you're
Nemesis.
outside
Yeah.
of a city,
Yeah.
like that's who you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, no, that is 100% legitimate. Shiv Rav is no joke. No one should ever dance with him for fun because it's not going to be a fun time. So you all had a verbal agreement with Roy to kind of let the family take over the wedding venue, which is basically just a big lot out back, where y'all can park for some short amount of time, yet to be determined. And so, like, probably the containers are here. There is some semblance of tent structure coming up, but nothing like what you guys had at the golf course outside of Sacramento. So, yeah, that's kind of where you're at. You're on kind of a knife's edge right now. And there's still like the big question of the train that Big Iron is housing in a mountain somewhere. How do y'all want to approach this tonight?
I would like
Guns blazing as usual.
Ben's got a plan.
Yes, let's do this.
what I feel judged.
But you do, don't you? Like you got a plan.
I actually don't have a plan. My
Oh,
plan
no.
was to hope. My plan. Vin retired when the doc showed up, and she had success after success, and that blew up. So he knows it. Vin knows that he wants to solidify where the camp can stay for at least a 2-week agreement with Roy. I know that's what he's going to want. Don't know if he's in the best shape to really try to negotiate that, and wants to ask Dexy for his help on that. And then maybe if we get that solidified, maybe we can kind of dig up more dirt. Maybe he knows some people that might get us in contact with somebody who knows Big Iron or Big Iron itself, that maybe we can broker a deal with them because we have information that could help them. And we don't like Smud, and they don't like Smud. So maybe they won't light me and Taw up the moment we walk up to the door.
I will give you that y'all have been playing like you've been playing like, what is it, the social butterfly at the party, meeting all the
Right.
groups and playing nice with everybody. And last
So we
session
should talk to everyone else.
that
Like, we'll
kind
move to a
of
new group.
yeah, that last session that the shoes started to drop and Smud stopped talking to you. Stop playing nice.
Right.
So
If you reach the point in the video game like logic tree where it's like if you cheat his mission, you will no longer be able to work with the other faction.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they
we
didn't know
hit
that.
that
They
part.
didn't know that
Yeah.
they had
No.
already hit that marker in the game, and were blindsided by it.
Yeah, so Vent would come up all bandaged up from his operation, getting a couple bullets out of his back and a burn mark treated, and he'd be like, Dexy, my friend, my brother in arms, I think we need to go talk to Roy about setting up a more permanent establishment here for us.
So this is in like our stuff that's like parked out back there.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all have like
Right.
you
I
have
get to stand there with like the fork of like Malache, be like, okay.
I love the idea that Dexy, you still have like the cool shades on and everything. You're just like scarfing down some malache and just like, huh? All right, yeah. Let me finish this before I give that any extra attention.
I appreciate you. So I think that would be the easiest route right now is dealing with Roy. And I would also
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, Dexy, we can't let on that we know that he works for Shiv Rav. Like, he doesn't know that we know that. That is a big thing. We cannot let him.
So we should not go in there and say, "Hey, we want to stay here, and we know you work for people who suck, so you should work for us instead." That would be bad.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
that would be bad, brother. That would be bad.
Okay,
That's how we get
just
shot.
trying to feel out the situation here. Right? Like,
Did the
you
doc
know,
tell you
because
anything?
I was hanging out back. I was making dinner for everybody, and then everybody comes back shot up, and then it's like, we're moving now. And now it's like, talk to a dude. Like, that's fine. I'll talk to you, dude. I just want to know what to talk to him about, what not to say. So yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
I'm gonna give us a face for Roy. I'm just stealing a
I
character
noticed.
portrait from games ago.
I noticed. I was like, "Oh, who's this?"
Just
Should
going
be
through
in
my badges, and I found him. I was like, "That's a good Roy. That's a real good Roy right
That
there."
guy should be in space right now. That's strange. Space in the future.
So yeah, you have Roy there. Roy is the manager at Roy's Motel Cafe and Mexican Eatery, and you all so yeah, you've got him there. He's like he's an owner manager. He's always there. So like, there's no, you got to get a meeting with the guy. You just kind of walk in and like, "Hey, Roy," and someone will point you kind of where they last saw Roy, kind of thing. So it's
He's either behind a counter or he's in like that tiny little office that barely fits a desk in it, that has like a ton of papers and like a punch card clock.
Yep.
Like that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like 2 chairs whenever he needs to like really lay into somebody. He's like, "Come into my office, shut the door, sit on the uncomfortable chair." You know, like
That's
Uh-oh.
how you find out without him telling you that he's part of Shivrav. It's just in the way that he berates his employees. You're like, "Oh, okay." They seem really scared, huh?
Getting a little too close to home. That's yeah, I mean, I'll go in and like hang out in like the cafe or something like that. Hey, when Roy's got a minute, send him back to booth in the corner. I want to, to him for a second. In the meantime, send another round of like ancient lattes.
yeah. The 17-year-old behind the counter is like, "Yeah, whatever, okay." And then like, you're
Exactly the level of interest I was hoping for.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, you want something drug? Okay, fine.
and by the time you're almost done with your meal, you see Roy walking by and asking the counter some questions, and then he kind of glances over at you and looks back at them, like gives them kind of a look like, "You, all right, whatever," and then comes over to you. He
Didn't
says,
to mention this until now, Jim.
"Yeah, yeah." He comes over and he says, Dexy, it's real good to see you. Sorry, I just found out that you were waiting on me. These country kids, man, they think, oh, wasteland, no rules. There's rules. How can I help you? He kind of sits down.
Having fun, yeah. I got the enchiladas. I'm fine. I'm good.
Hear the 1,000-yard
Give
stare.
give me some time to enjoy the food.
Yeah, good. You liking the sauce today? I was a little worried that maybe it's not good, but is it all right?
Oh no, Dexy will go into like a whole thing that like Mike can't do. It's like, no, the sauce is great. I was thinking, I use a lot of Scotch bonnets when I'm working on the stuff for like, back when I'm making curry and stuff. But like,
Roy eats this up.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably one of the few people who can give him like real notes for him to take back to his brother and sister-in-law. So he's like, "Oh, okay," and he like takes a second, like pulls out. Sorry, everybody. OBS crashed. Oh boy. So very sorry that the stream dropped, but I think we're live again. Maybe somebody in the chat confirm for me.
I got a. I
Oh,
see
you have a
it.
stream.
We're up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, OBS just crashed. No idea, but we're back now. So yeah, you were talking about what was it, Caribbean spices with
Yeah.
Roy? Okay, good.
With Roy and like comparisons for like helping him tune his sauces and stuff like that. Yeah,
Perfect.
there's a little more spice, but like not some sugar than if you find it. Coconut's really good for like doing this thing and like yeah. Right.
Perfect. Good. Yeah. So he jots down some notes about spices and coconut and that kind of stuff, and he's like, good. This is great. But I'm sure that giving me this feedback wasn't exactly why you wanted me over here. So what can I help you with?
It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's well, we'd really appreciate that you've let us set up camp out back.
Yeah, anything for a
We were,
friend.
we were really
You guys have been great. I don't think the staff has had a laugh like that in a long time. When we met you, and you all pay well. You order a lot of food and you pay well, and so I kind of like having you around if I'm honest.
yeah. Well, we got a lot of mouths to feed. We're glad to help. I'm glad to get that much less time in the kitchen by supplementing out here. So yeah. But yeah, we've been here trying to hang out for a little while. What we really like, what we really appreciate, what would really make life easier for us, and hopefully it would be beneficial for you too, would be if we would hang out here for a couple of months.
For a couple, how long?
How long were we talking about?
Yeah, out of character. Yeah, this is actually something that I as a GM don't know how long y'all want to stick around for. So this is good. This is a good convo for us to know.
No longer than necessary.
2 to 3 weeks is what
The
Vinton's
perfect
gonna
amount
say.
of time would be ideal.
Yes,
The perfect
we're trying
amount
to
of
hang
time
out
for us
here in your backyard until day, and then
And I swear, on that day we'll leave. I promise.
I think probably a few weeks, and if we haven't got this shit taken care of by then, like
If we don't have
we
this,
just gotta
Vinton's gonna be
go.
like, if we don't have, if we
Yeah.
don't have this stuff taken care of by the end of this week, we are done. We're leaving.
Right? Yeah.
yeah,
Just say we'll plan for 2 weeks. Then I think it's just kind of a good backup.
and revisit.
We'll revisit it to it.
Yeah.
Can I pay my rent weekly?
Week to week. Yeah.
yeah, we want to schedule and a reservation.
I mean,
that runs
that's
for 2 weeks.
That's like bread and butter for a motel, man. They're like, oh, you want the hourly rate? Great, awesome. You want a daily rate? Weekly? Oh yeah, we're into the weekly. We don't have to clean that room for a week. That was great. So yeah, you asked for a couple of weeks from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, we think we got about 2 weeks that we need to wrap up what we're trying to work on up here. We're still gonna need supplies and stuff.
Yeah. When it was gonna be a day or so, I really didn't worry about it too much. He kind of leans in just a little bit. He says, look, we love having you. No doubt about it. But 2 weeks means that look, it's kind of hard out here in the wasteland. And
No.
I pay a crew for protection. And
Oh, really? I have no problems.
And thing is that they're due to come by in about a week and a half. And they're never late, but sometimes they're a little early. If they saw you, that might give me some problems. So, how can we solve this? Because like I said, you guys are great. I got no problem with you. But you kind of look like nomads, and these guys might have an opinion about that. And I'm just shooting you straight.
I can understand that. I've been around, lots of people who have opinions about nomads for a long time.
You're some of my best customers, but if you're in the wedding venue when they show up, they might ask me some questions, and I need to know what that would look like.
Okay, who in the tribe could be forced to get married, so we have an excuse to be in the wedding venue?
And bye. And bye.
I love that plan. That is so fun.
We only need it as a backup. It's a just in case thing, right?
How early are they gonna show up? Do you know? Like, it's like a day or two.
So Dexy, how do you? I'm gonna ask Dexy. How do you want to go through this? Because I'm seeing just the two of you at this table right now.
Oh.
I think that's how we kind of framed it before. I don't have an issue with Vinton being there or anything like that.
Okay.
Just we've had that discussion about let the fixer do the fixing. But yeah, there's questions that Dexy's not super clear on because Mike's not super clear on them to make Dexy.
Sure. Yeah, we're kind of a split party game. So yeah, by all means, Vincent, you're there. And he says, with these guys, they don't like radio ahead kind of thing. They're due by the 5th every month, but every so often they'll show up a couple of days early. They always stick around for a couple of days, get cleaned up, eat some food, that kind of thing, and I think kind of check the place out a little bit, and then they move on.
Do they like to shake down other people while they're here or anything like that?
I mean, I'm sure they've got other customers.
Understood.
But we're a convenient place for them to base out of while they do that work.
So what kind of guys are these like? Like, do they show up on motorcade of limos, bunch of dirt bikes?
No, it's nothing like limos. It's like big road cruisers, motorcycles and trikes and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just 2, right? Sometimes it's like 5. I guess it depends on if they're doing heavy work when they come by or not.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, it's not as big as y'all's crew, but I don't want any of that kind of trouble here.
Yeah.
And we don't want to cause no trouble for you.
Yeah, okay.
We don't want to be wrecked.
Dexy, give me a human perception while you're talking to him.
Oh.
23.
Hey.
Good job. Yeah. He is not lying to you, but he is definitely holding some stuff back. Now, some of that stuff Dexy knows, right? Like, more about this guy's business than he is letting on. But he is definitely like he's telling you what he thinks you need to know so that you know kind of what his situation is looking like. But there's stuff that he's just not saying. With a 23 like that, you know what's up.
Yeah, I mean, is there a way for me to just frame that conversation as look, I can tell that there's more to this, and we want to get our stuff done. We want it to be beneficial for you too. It's just gonna be faster for both of us if you just tell us what's going on.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think.
I mean, the thing that's keeping us here is just we've got a couple things that we got to get finished around Sacramento, in the area here, and if we understand if that's going to play into one or the other, if there's something help one another on those fronts, then cool.
So I think if you did. Let's see here. I think if you just did your like special ability, really, this kind of like scheme linking thing that fixers can do to say like, hey, I get it, you have problems, I have problems, let's see how we can get our schemes together. Let's see here. What is the appropriate role for that? Looking at your abilities. And I'm super open to input from you on this as well, because I think this is the first time I'm
'Cause, I mean,
rolling fixer abilities.
they've narrowed operator into a couple different buckets, and that doesn't sound specifically like any of those.
Like you're trying to
But
get a
like, I
deal
mean,
done. Like at the end of the day, you're trying to get a deal done.
conversation and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell you what. Let's do some conversation. Let's do conversation and kind of see where the two of you end up and what
'Cause, I
more
mean,
information he
step
can give you.
Step one is I do want him to like spill, right? Like
Right.
I want the information to know what we're doing.
Right.
Then we can figure out, what we got to give you, what are we going to get in return.
Right. Yeah. So let's do your conversation.
22.
Okay. So yeah, good damn stuff. So through talking with him, and you guys are kind of leaning in a little bit, having a quieter conversation, and after a while, he says, "Okay, hey, let me level it just a little bit with you. That yes, I pay these guys protection, and they come by every month, and I got to make sure that they're happy when they leave. But also, I've got to, I've got to, I have to kind of owe them my business, because on the one hand, I pay them, but on the other hand, they did kind of bankroll us. Not a lot of places want to invest in the wasteland, and we're one of the few outfits that can keep this place secure and all that, and it's just one of those deals where they kind of helped get us started. And so I think if you could, I don't know, maybe make it so I don't have to lean on them so much. If I could kind of be out from underneath that, that'd be real nice. I don't know what kind of a sway you have over your crew, but I don't know. It just seems like that's where I'm at. I'm kind of stuck with the partnerships I've got, and I like you guys, but I can't let go of one branch before I've got a firm grasp of the next. I'm swinging from tree to tree here. Does that make sense?
I can understand that. I know you've got obligations and stuff.
Yeah. I got people to worry about here. And so you kind of it looks like he is okay with making a leap, but he would need something from the Midnight Runners to be able to say, yeah, I'm willing to just cut ties with my current protection group and kind of burn that contact. But he would need you guys to pony up something. So I would think something like Greece would be good in here. Well, no. Yeah, it feels almost like a haggle or a contacts thing.
Yeah.
Like haggle maybe is the most appropriate here, but it's really like what can the Midnight Runners offer this guy that's not like just money, right? Because what he needs is security. And can you guys give him that in exchange for him kind of burning his current security?
Right. And there will definitely be fallout with his current security if we do that, I'm sure.
Right.
They don't seem like the type where like, oh, somebody else bought out your contract is a thing.
And we're okay with that. Yeah. Shiv Rab doesn't
Like,
remember those
we,
sorts of
we,
things.
we give Roy some money, Roy will be psyched, but like the amount of money Shiv Rab would take for that to be okay is like not. Right.
Right.
Um so I want to like explain to him, like, I understand the situation. I get that's not good. And I agree. I'd rather you be associated with us than with them because they sound like they suck bad. I would want your grandpa. Fine. I think I got to talk to the rest of my tribe before I can make anything specific.
Okay.
Right? Like I can't. I got to talk to them before I make an offer that big on everybody's part.
Sure. Um,
Um,
let's go ahead
I
and
think
get.
we can still try to do. We will try to get our stuff done as quickly as possible so that we'll be out of your hair before they show up if possible. And then if I can get the go ahead from the tribe family, then I'll talk to you about like if we can get you out from under that sun.
So let's do. I feel like I'm kind of feeling like contacts is the right answer here, because if you're going to make the family, if you're going to convince the family to do something, it's going to be about Dexy pulling in a lot of the inner family favors, or knowing exactly who within the family to like get a bunch of stuff done to take on a commitment like this. And so maybe let's do operator with your contacts and clients, and get a sense of kind of how high up Dexy can go comfortably to do something like this, and that might change the nature of what you can offer Roy. Like, is it, hey, I can get you and your immediate family on the back of a truck and we'll move you to some place and you set up a new shop? Or is it like, we can move your whole outfit? Or is it, we can actually put presence out here to protect you, right? And kind of knowing what your level of influence would be would help you understand like how far Dexy could push an agreement with Roy. So if you don't mind, I'd like to do operator.
Okay.
Let's just see. Okay. Let me just check that real quick. Make sure it included everything.
So I don't think that did any like stat or anything like that.
Correct. It just does the
just
special ability
die plus
plus a
operator.
D10. Yeah. So good. I mean, that's pretty high up there. So I'm going to say that Dexy, you feel like whatever agreement you get to with Roy, you're gonna be able to get it into the right people's hands and pitch it pretty well. So you might be able to kind of swing for the fences in terms of what Dexy thinks he could make happen for Roy. Now it's just a question of what would you like to walk away from this conversation in terms of, something that Roy would agree with, so that you can go and say, hey, we have to do this thing, and he's already kind of bought into this big plan. What would be an aspect of that plan, or just something to kind of put a stake in the ground on how far out there would Dexy want to go with getting Roy to change
So I
the
think-
allegiances?
Yeah, I think the two things I was after there was like just, hey, is it cool for us to stay longer? Which I think in that range anyway. And would he be open to like we grab his people and a bunch of his gear and shove it onto one of the trucks when we try to leave for Night City and like setting up shop there? Because like I don't know that we're in a position to be like, yeah, we're gonna permanently pop people outside Sacramento. That's
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Mike, that doesn't sound like a great plan.
Right. Yeah. So, you feel pretty confident that the family could make something like that happen. You know, move a kitchen and like the stuff that's of real value here, like that's probably doable, right? For the family to pull off. Logistically, the family could do something like that. Roy, let's do a persuade. Let's finish out this with you doing a persuade plus your operator skill to kind of see where where's Roy at the end of this, like, kind of
This is a
haggle.
good plan, right? This could really work
Yeah.
out for you guys in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Protection that's not going to come like just show up on a dirt bike and eat your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do kind of the haggle side of things and see what Roy kind of buys into on this front.
Do you want the haggle or do you want persuasion?
Oh,
Just haggle. Haggle's hooked into trading.
oh, that's right. I feel more like this is well, I could go either way on that, frankly. Let's see here. Let's do
There's no monetary outcome to it, so I don't know that haggle.
Right, yeah, exactly. So let's do persuade.
Persuade feels good to me.
Yeah, let's do persuade.
Yeah.
With a crit.
28.
Beautiful. All right, cool. So yeah, you're kind of outlining like, okay, crazy idea, right? We got a bunch of trucks. We got a bunch of containers. We just got a new container. I mean, yeah, it's full of all this guy's stuff, but like when we're in transit, it's just empty space. We put your whole kitchen in there. And so
you keep fitting one end, it's fine.
Yeah. So you start to kind of lay this out, and you see Roy like watching you, and at first he's like, "This guy's crazy," and then you start talking about like, well, you know, I mean, we move all this stuff, and actually, when we move down, we're gonna be moving with a huge train, and it's like, oh, well, now you're not talking about just my kitchen, you're talking about my sign. You're talking about like some of the stuff that's like really important to Roy. It's like, okay, all right. If you get something like that written up, I would look at it.
All right. I can do that.
Okay. Well, Dexy, this has been probably the most interesting conversation I've had in a long time. Just the idea of getting away from Sacramento at all. So I'm gonna go back, kind of look at my situation a little bit closer and see what it would take to relocate with the Midnight Runners. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, right on.
All right, man.
I'm gonna finish these enchiladas.
Yeah.
Or enchiladas.
You got it. I can't eat another bite. You have a good
Does
day,
this place have,
and we'll see you. All
this
right.
place have whiskey?
No, there's no. Well, let's see here. I guess it would have a bar, right? I mean, like, fuck it. Yeah, they would have a bar. Maybe not in the Chexican like family restaurant area, but there's got to be some kind of bar at this place, or at the very least, a cooler where you can buy whiskey and beer and liquor, and then like tables where you can sit and drink it with your buds. And that's probably as close to a bar as they've got out here.
Vin's gonna go over and buy himself a drink after this.
Cool. Good
It's like,
stuff.
oh, awesome.
All right.
Cool.
So we have a tenuous agreement with Roy. He's
We're gonna get Roy mobile.
right. If Roy becomes a traveling gas station for you guys, I'm gonna love it.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Roy
a
on the go.
traveling gas station. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna
with that
lie.
Discounted shoe sales. I mean, we would be making bank.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to figure out a way to weasel in my father on the side of this, and he would have access to tankers. I would always roll for an opportunity, if it has to be luck, to see if my dad can drop off a few tankers at the Midnight Runner's place.
I mean, like, if you have the train, if the train thing works out, like, you could use, like,
It's a
rail
brilliant-
cars to move the fuel. It's like, we're not talking about, like, we're talking about big guzzle here. So, you know, just find this guy. But yeah, I love it. This whole concept is great to me.
Can you imagine being responsible for the traveling gas station, and you're just driving down the road and you're like, man, it's been like 50 miles since I've seen a gas station. Perfect. And you just park it right there on the side of the road instead of, you're like, I know what they need.
Gasoline.
And check
Gasoline. They need to use the restroom. Maybe they want to stop for the day, but it's the middle of Kansas.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the move.
Has like a
We
window
done.
on the side, so it can be like the convenience store out the window thing.
They have like a little tracker to say where they are in the day, so people follow it.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Okay. So good. You have a working idea with Roy. This is fantastic. I love it. And yeah. So next up for the Midnight Runners. Just a quick time check for everybody. I do have to take a break in about 30 minutes for some family stuff, but then I will be back, of course, for afterwards. But I definitely want to spend the next like little bit of time getting us set up for our kind of next big scene for the game.
Yes.
Which I think you guys are going after Big Iron, right?
Yeah, or scouting
don't
it,
need
or
to-
some sort of.
Conversation with Big Iron. We're not going
Scouting
at,
it. That's
let's not say we're going
Information
after.
scouting. Just information
They don't
scouting.
even know who the hell I am. I've never been there. So like, I don't know what y'all supposed to worried about.
So
Not you two were worried about. It's all the.
oh,
I did
whoops.
lay out Grandma.
You did
Based
shoot
on your
Grandma.
vote.
Okay, let's move us over
You know,
to
you
where-
you guys stay in the car and like wear a hat.
Right. Yeah.
get rid of Galaxy and Oz here. So Vinton, Ta, and let me get the other characters in here real quick. So Big Iron, when y'all scouted them before, show this, and I gotta, of course, make changes while we're streaming because that's how I roll. Where's Silas? There you are. There we go. So Big Iron Gang is a former nomadic tribe, but they are rail based. They ride the rails and they secure like trains and make sure that they get to where they need to go. So they're like you guys, but just on the lines. And what you all have discovered in past sessions is that this is the rail going into Sacramento, and this is a real thing. Like, if y'all Google Maps and obsessively follow along the rail lines, you'll find this spot. This rail line goes into Sacramento, and this mountain is very interesting. It's why it's in my game. There are 2 rail lines going into this tunnel, and there is 1 rail line going out of the tunnel. And you all as a crew came here before, and I'll just zoom in a little bit. Came here before, and you know, you met a guard who was like here, and then like some people came out trying to help a lost young lady, right? And that all went south when people started shooting. And there was a Ta there in character, getting people to think that he was the guard for a hot second. And you all left on dirt bikes, right? Or 2 of you left on dirt bikes. But yeah, it is presumed that the Big Iron Gang is in this tunnel or in this mountain. And you don't know a lot about what's going on there, other than it appears that occasionally there is a heavy truck, a truck that's like maybe full of the steel you're trying to get down to Night City. There's a heavy truck that occasionally leaves. You can see it like, cut big, heavy tire tracks in the ground as it leaves through this little like garage exity looking thing. And good old Vinton, Casey, you found this awesome photo. Let me show this to everybody. Of a train tunnel. And this is kind of we lost some folks. Charlie Ascende, thank you so much for that in chat. We'll get Vinton back here in just a second, folks. But it looks a lot like this. You've got a tunnel into a hillside, and this like little garagey looking thing off to the side. And I think when the folks were coming out, they were coming out of the garage last time, and you all encountered them and basically escaped the situation. There was some gunplay, right? There was some shooting back and forth, but otherwise, like, they're in this dark tunnel thing, and there's not a lot of insight of what's going on inside the tunnel. But this is the area. Just for relevancy's sake, so everybody knows, Highway 80 is a little north of this. So, like, if you're out in the woods or on these like hillsides and you're looking at the train, if you're on the right hill, you can look north of you and see Highway 80 going towards Sacramento. So you're just kind of out in the sticks, a few hours away from Sacramento. Along Highway 80 is where this rail line comes into this mountain. And like I say, it comes in with 2 rail lines and it leaves with 1.
Donner's Pass, my favorite place.
Yeah. And this satellite photo is accurate. There's a bunch of little like walking paths or ATV paths, going through here. There is this on the top of this hill, kind of on the south end. There is some structures up there. You can see like a cell phone tower up there. And like in Cyberpunk Red, it's not just cell phone towers. It's like microwave towers and dishes and all that kind of stuff. Like anytime there's a tower, there's always like some kind of microwave emitters talking to the other towers nearby and other utilities on it and all that kind of stuff. It's like a tech tree just full of comms gear as it, has line of sight with some other tower somewhere else. And so you've got this on top of the hill, and just a lot of granite that's kind of in front of you. And I'll just give it to you. You do have a pair of guards now. They've upped the guard count to 2 guards hanging out in this guard spot, monitoring this dirt road that follows the rail line. And I'll just put them down, just so you know what you're working with.
Rolling up in the beast is probably not a wise thing, right?
I imagine if you had the beast with you, you've parked it and walked it, and you're like on a hill overlooking the situation. Your characters can kind of see what's happening. I don't need to officially have y'all on the map just yet. And we can have either dirt bikes or the car or what have you, a little ways away.
So when y'all were here last time shooting folks, did y'all happen to mention what your names were, or did they just think it was some random pillagers from the wasteland?
No, I didn't. And Tall was in Persona. I was up on the hill sniping.
Name's Frankfurt is the name I gave.
Okay.
Which was
so
one
they
of
don't
my
know the
people.
Midnight Runners is the one that, or representatives thereof, came and shot him to pieces.
My idea was maybe we can say it was Smud if they ask if they know. Say it's probably Smud or something. Get them then get a little upset.
Anybody
Maybe
they've
work
seen
Dexy.
before?
It was plainclothes smut. Yeah.
Plainclothes Smud. Anybody they've seen before needs to stay way the hell back.
Oh, I'm staying up here. I ain't going down there. I shot the grandma.
You shot Graham. That's right.
Can you expand on that for a second? Because
Look, she was obviously the leader. Anybody who walks out with 2 riflemen, 2 Borgs, and a medic and has no gun walking into a situation, clearly the leader. And they had enough. I took so much. I took 2 shots, Dexy, and it almost killed me, man. I just jumped out of a 20-story building with 10 bullets in my back and barely died. So they got some serious armament here.
only a little dead. Okay.
So, can we just buy the steel off of them? Is that
We don't have enough money in the coffer at this. At least I don't think we do. I have to call Benny to find out.
But
That
if
would
we
be a
spend
good
whatever
thing to
money
know,
to
right?
buy it back, we make no money off the steel. Then we just get paid
Did,
slightly less than.
well, did
Yeah.
whoever asked us to come get this deal front us any money for that or anything like that?
Yeah, so Chromoxy is the family that is building the arcology, and they have paid the Midnight Runners to go and get their train, find it, recover it, bring it back, right? So it's they have already paid for the steel, and they're paying people to like find out what happened to it, grab it, bring it back. They're not keen on buying the steel all over again, but it at the end of the day, if y'all came to them and said, look, the only way for us to get this is if you buy it from this crew, then they'd have to kind of make the call of, all right, well, we can't or we will. But that does impact like the payout that the Midnight Runners would get, because now they'd have less money to pay you guys, if any.
We do have somewhat of an ace in the hole. Before things went sideways in that office building, y'all remember, because all of us have dealt with them folks on the motorcycles and the bike, right? The scavenging or whatever they call themselves. They're in that tunnel that we seem to always fight in. So they're trying to take that contract. That's probably why they tried to take the train. Probably why they tried to take my truck. Because they're trying to get the dude in purchasing is making back deals with them and trying to screw over these guys. So y'all might, when you go talk to them, might want to bring that up and see if there's a deal that can be worked out there as well. Because I'm not too keen on not. We sacrificed a lot up here. I would like to get full payout. I get it if we can't, but that would be my other option.
So just so we're clear, it's Chromoxy's train that somebody bamboozled or what have you. That is just okay.
It basically didn't show up, right? And Chromoxy's like, look, we know he's on his way to Sacramento, so it's not that far away. Just go up there and find it, bring it home. Whatever's going on, fix that problem, and bring it back.
And what exactly caused people to start shooting each other this last time?
They were.
Did y'all just try to explain the situation, or was there some other shenanigans going?
Yeah, I can recap that real quick.
Because I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, so Galaxy and crew were there, and Galaxy, Vinton, Ta, and Oz were there. And Galaxy kind of did the like damsel in distress gig, where it's like, hey, I woke up with amnesia out in the desert, right? I'm from some town really far away. Help me, right? And this guard, there used to be a single guard out here. And the guard was like, okay, let me radio the family and we'll get you some help. And so there was this threat of Galaxy was going to be taken by Graham and the family into the tunnel. And so in order to stop that from happening, somebody got shot. Vinton shot Grandma.
I was like, I shot that.
Yeah. Vinton shot Grandma to like. Let me back up. Galaxy had said that people were after her. People were chasing her. And so they were, the reason why they came out, part of the reason that they came out with a lot of guns is they were expecting people to be after this girl, this woman. And so it kind of went along with that. Galaxy went along with that ruse for as long as it could. And then like Graham got shot. It was like, oh my god, they're here. I got a bolt. So Galaxy got on its bike and took off. And Ta was in the trees pretending to be the security guard that was killed. And Ta got on a bike. He's like, I'm chasing after her. And so it was tough. It was tough.
That clears a lot up.
So other little
That's it,
tidbit
though?
that y'all have received is there is the understanding that Sayforth, the guy in purchasing,
Mm-hmm.
who has traditionally been managing the Big Iron contracts, that he is a skeezy dude, and may have been shorting them on payments or being late on payments or blowing them off. And these guys used to be a nomad tribe, and now they're a gang, right? So I mean, they've had kind of a fall from grace, maybe in response to not getting paid. Right.
Okay. So why don't we just tell them it's our train and we need it back? If they need a favor or two to get it back, then fuck it. Right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should be behind. Just in case.
Yeah, you guys stay up on the hill and I don't know. Let them shoot first. How about that? Well, I'll shoot first. How about that?
I was about to say, like, Finn looks at Silas like pot calling kettle black.
They'll try to shoot,
Happening all over.
but I'll get there first. But they'll pull the gun first. How about that?
It leaves their holster as they die.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make it all the way up into like firing position before they like lose muscle tension and it drops.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be the plan. That way nobody gets shot that doesn't need getting shot.
Good luck.
And if we're honest, then we ain't got to shoot anybody to cover our backstory, right? Just tell them what's up and work from there. I don't know. That's my plan. I'm not a tactician.
I'm good with that.
Actually, I
Nah,
think I
it
have like a
works for
4 or a
me.
5 in tactics, but whatever.
So actually, that's a good point. Tacticians, feel free to roll your tactics, because this is a dangerous situation. Where do you want your cover to be when you're sending in, an envoy to make peace with another group of nomads?
Can I use deduce? I have tactics, but I like using deduce a lot more. I use deduce.
By all means, you can do deduce. It comes to different conclusions.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, so 19 for Vinton, 19 for Silas, Ta 18. Okay, cool.
Me and Vincent are on the same page when it comes to the lay of the land.
And
Yeah.
So you said we could use deduction.
Yes, perfect. I love it. See, deduction, man. We gotta. Every game should have a deduction skill. So Silas and Vincent, you're kind of looking at the layout out here, and there's really 3 places that would make sense to have shooters. Out here on this hill on the map, right, has good points of egress because you can get on the rail line and all that kind of stuff. So out kind of where you guys came from last time, that's a good area to look at the garage and all that kind of stuff. Another option that might be better is north. Whoops. North, kind of closer to Highway 80. That gives you more escape options, and you can cover both sides of the tunnels, right?
Gotcha.
For information purposes. So it's kind of a, whoops, I don't know why it's following me around. So out here is good for situational awareness of what's going on with the whole, both sides of the tunnel, the whole mountain base thing or whatever is going on in here. Your third option, which puts the shooters in an advantage if something goes south, but a disadvantage if they've got a rabbit, is up on this hill. Right, the hill itself, where the tunnel is, there are vantage points where you can look at both ends of the thing and give them a lot of problems either direction, but there's just not a lot of escape routes for you. So you guys kind of see those three options as like all viable. They all have their own pluses and minuses. But if you're worried about having to run fast, north of the tunnel is the best spot. But if you're worried about having really good line of sight of the garage and the entry point, you want to be over here. And then this spot just gives you the most flexibility.
From my understanding, out of character, it's going to be Silas and Dexy going down there, right?
Right.
Cool. Then would be pushing for the northern part, leaving the beast up on the highway, and like staying there, ready to bug out at a moment's notice if things go super sideways. That's where he's going to want to put himself in the vehicle.
I'm just going to put you up there as you're voting for that spot.
How fast is Ta?
Move of 7.
We'll probably get to me in a couple.
See if we had somebody like with pretty good speed, we could put them in the hard to run from spot, and they'd still probably be okay. But
I mean, you could still put me there. I mean, does my deduce help with any of this?
So the deduction, so both of you with deduction, you know that this area right here is a spillway for like rainwaters. And so what you would expect is all in here is full of like big rough rocks, that kind of thing. So like moving a vehicle through this space would not really work, but you could run through this space, kind of thing. So if you're looking to run out of here and you're afraid of them chasing with vehicles, this is a great way to run, because it's going to be really tough for them to bring vehicles through that spillway, through that washway. So that would be what your deduction gives you. Also, I would give you on deduction this spot up here, this like radio tower thingy. This is the top of the hill, right? And so if you were around up here, your runaway is go down the backside of the hill, and you've got all kinds of options once you're down there. So even though you're like, it would be a long trek to get you back towards civilization, you would be in the thick of it, in the woods. You know, I mean, it'd be real tough for somebody to follow a couple of guys on foot. If you were up here, because you would just run down the backside of the mountain, and they'd have to run all the way up the mountain and then start the hunt, right?
Yeah.
So like you've got, because of deduction, you've got a couple of other like notes about egress that a tactician maybe would have gathered, but because you rolled deduction, I'll give you some new bits of intel.
I'm hoping y'all don't have to even do anything, so wherever y'all want to sit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Where's Vinton thinking of going? Because that'll probably inform where.
Well, so
I'm going to the.
So you guys are kind of voting on where to put either both of you or what have you. Vinton is voting that y'all take a spot up in the north, so you can watch both ends of the tunnel, and you've got fast access to the highway if you need it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go with that. That just seems like a good all round. Or if I need to, I probably can get my way down, or wherever I need to if I need to. So I'll second that one.
Any other notes from the? Okay. So you two are going to camp out north, and have line of sight on both entrances, all the exits of the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And good stuff. Dexy and Silas, how do y'all want to approach this place. You know about where the guards are. You can actually walk right up to them by following this path. This path leads to a little like pathway under a bridge, under the rail bridge, and then you're like right there. Or I mean, I'm thinking in terms of walking or driving. You can come in along the rail line as well. Those are the easiest points to get to those guards. But maybe do you have any other input on like how y'all want to approach this?
I think open is probably the best way, like either on a vehicle or something. That way it doesn't look like we've been
Yeah.
skulking around their camp for an hour and now we're deciding to show up. Like, we gotta just drive up. Like,
Yeah.
we're here for business and we intend to do business.
Yep.
That way,
Well, yeah. I mean,
look fancy.
we're trying to track down a shipment that was going along the rail line, which runs through here. Never made it to Sacramento, so we're here to
Mhm.
just ask, hey, you guys see the big shipment of iron? Because trying to figure out where that would
We're missing
slip off somewhere.
Hey, Big Iron, we're looking for big steel.
it.
Have you seen it?
I love you.
Have you seen it?
That's so cute. I love it.
Big steel.
Hey guys, who are you? Big Iron? Wow, great name. Funny coincidence. We're looking for a big stack of I-beams. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, dirt bikes, motorbikes would probably be the easiest, and
No.
that kind of thing as your approach. Y'all have plenty of them at this point. So
I'd ride with someone though, probably.
So yeah, okay, good. That gives me a good picture of how the approach is going to go. Any other notes before we go on break? Okay.
I think we're good.
Not that I can think of right now.
I like having the stage set.
Channel 9.
Oh, could I? How long have we been here? How long have we been just kind of sitting around playing with our thumbs?
As long as y'all like.
Okay.
Yeah, because you guys are entirely dictating the tempo of this one. So if y'all want to roll up kind of towards the evening, you could. If you want to do this in the middle of the day, you can. Like, to me, your meeting with Roy was like a over breakfast, and now you've had the rest of the day to scout and figure things out and get yourselves where you wanted to be and all that stuff.
Could I possibly like rig up because I remember last time we really screwed with them by screwing with the radio, so they couldn't contact anyone. They kept going like on and off. So
Yep.
could I possibly like kind of jury rig something like that, just like to not nullify all radio signals, but just stop them from calling from the inside if need be?
So yeah, it would not be too tough for Ta to rig up something that would jam like old school radio bands, right?
Yeah.
Like the old school walkie-talkie radio bands. I don't think it'd be too tough for you to rig something like that up.
Don't they need to be able to like call people to make a deal?
No, I'm not gonna use. It's not gonna be on.
Okay.
But like, if something
Oh, okay,
goes
gotcha.
down, I want to
Like a little
Like
stop
as
it
soon
too.
dimmer
as-
switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell you what, give me let's do your fabrication skill.
Fabricate. Okay. All right. At the +2.
I would say this would be a cheap item because it's like something you're going to use one time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Kind
a
of
one-time user.
Yeah,
No.
so let's say you're gonna spend like 50 eddies on putting this thing together. Normally it'd cost you 100 eddies to buy, but you're gonna spend 50 eddies on making it, and you're gonna do your fabricate skill.
I was assuming that's a basic tech kind of thing. Because it's usually your tech.
Yes. My apologies. Yeah,
Yeah.
basic tech
Yeah.
for like, I mean, you're effectively like spooling a bunch of copper wire around a tube until you know you've got the right number of spools, and then you hooked like a powerful source to it, like transmit, fill this whole thing with static.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah. So while you're all talking, Ta is sitting here like wrapping a bunch of wire around like a dowel rod basically, and he's got it hooked up to this little like 12-volt motorcycle battery, and it's running through a little IC as well. So it's going to do a lot of disruption to a small area. but you have fabricated a walkie-talkie radio jammer in
Cool.
an afternoon. So good job.
I feel like while he's working on it, there's like that moment of conversation, like, so Ta, is this like something for the mission, or are we like feel a little tense here? Like this is how we're working it out. Like is this a project, or is this like play have a opinion?
Where'd you get that copper? And I look and I see one of my CB radios got destroyed. I'm like, dude, ass.
Yeah, one of the antennas off the front of your truck is gone.
Like, where did you even? You know what? Cool, it's for the mission.
I remember our first mission, y'all spent time like scavenging just straight up wire. I was like, yeah, that's it. We're into it now. So yeah, you've got some scavenged wire that you've put together, ripped off the insulation, and you've made a short range radio jammer that's not like pocket sized, but definitely a person could carry it and turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
even chuck it,
Cool.
like it'd probably be fine. Because it really is just copper and electricity and like a little IC to make some gobbledygook on the frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Best of luck, y'all. We got you covered up here.
Sure. It's good.
Ready?
Well, he did.
All
1,
right.
2, 3, break.
So y'all the two of you get on your motorbikes, start riding towards the Big Iron base, and we should go to break. And this one's gonna be a little bit longer, folks. I think I'm gonna take a 15-minute break. Let me double check real quick with the significant other. You okay for us taking a break? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are gonna go on break, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Hopefully only 15 minutes. It might be a little bit longer. I apologize in advance to everybody, but either way, we will be back shortly. And you know what I should do? I should do the giveaway. Right? Let's do the giveaway thing.
Yes.
Do it.
Let's do it. Folks, we are going to give away a copy of Legend Keeper, or rather beta access to Legend Keeper, which is a fantastic game management, campaign tracking tool, world building tool. It's intended as a world builder. Put your world maps in there, and you have pins for all the things, and those pins lead to articles about what's at that place, and that could lead to more maps, right? So like a map of the world, and then of the kingdom, and then of the building, and then each floor in that building, right? If you want to get super tactical about it. So Legend Keeper is a really cool like campaign and world building tool. I am gonna set up the giveaway right now. Cancel that. Confirm. All right. What should our like word of the day be?
Big Steel.
Since the
But
rap
spelled with an EA.
pencils.
I gotta vote over here for Chexican. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, you know what? I don't know.
Food truck.
I think I'm
Food
screwing this
train.
up, folks. I don't actually know how to change it. So I'm just gonna save it as it is. I'm just gonna start this giveaway. The giveaway by default is word of the day, Grandma. I love you, Charles. Exclamation point, Legend Keeper. I will learn how to change this stuff later. Exclamation point, Legend Keeper to be entered into the contest to win. And that will get you access to the thing. Jagos, we were gonna see about keeping Roy's. There's a plan in place to pick up Roy's and move it. We'll see how it goes
Keep it right.
with Roy's
Like how this
Chexican
shop
Cafe.
Motel stop
literally
eating.
started
Yeah.
Tree Steel, and now
I love it.
And
Now-
now-
We're
we're
gonna
also
come back to
gonna-
Night City with a whole franchise.
yeah.
like
Built into camp.
like a whole
Screw being
franchise.
nomads. Let's being entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Why not both?
I love it.
Nomadic entrepreneurs. It's a whole
We are the
new
next
venture
meta.
capital.
That's what we are.
That's right. You're the next meta.
We are turning into the next meta.
That's
I
right.
just have to live long enough to get my suit just by being me.
All right. So I'm going to take us to break, and folks, we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Okay? So by all means, enter in to win Legend Keeper, and we'll see y'all soon. So yeah, we are here at the place, Big Iron Gang's tunnel of trainage.
Okay.
We've got Vincent and Ta up on the hill. You guys are all set up with your Overwatch. Um, you know, like, are you guys in the kind of classic sniper situation where you've got like a thing rolled out and you've got your gun up and you're like glassing people, or are you just kind of sitting there waiting to see how everything goes down?
I would be in a sniping position.
Okay.
I'd probably
But
be right next to him, fiddling with some tech. You know, not really paying attention to anything that's going on except what's in my hand.
Okay. Cool. And you both have your comms up and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Between Dexy and Silas, who has in-ear comms? Who has the cybernetic enhancement?
I've got a cyber ear, and I've got an agent.
Okay.
I don't remember if there was supposed to be something specific in terms of pairing them or anything like that.
I think your cyber ear. Let me look at your page.
I know I've got the Chiron, where like if people are texting me, it scrolls across my vision.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You do have the audio. Oh, you've got amplified hearing. Good stuff. Okay. So you don't have the radio built in, but Silas, you do. So yeah, the two of you roll up on your bikes. Talk to me about armor and stuff real quick. I'm not saying they're shooting at you, but I just want to know, like, when you roll up, how are you armored? How do they proceed?
We found out last time that the layering armor doesn't do anything, right?
Correct.
So Silas just wears clothes.
Okay. Okay.
Like, he's just dressed, you know?
Yeah, what is
Really deep
like a dude.
give me a wardrobe style. Like, let's see, like, how cool is Silas looking rolling up to this pair of guards?
How cool is he? How cool did he dress today?
Yeah.
Was the closet running a little thin? Because sometimes it happens.
Especially when you're
He did
mid
just
move.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
mid
how
move for sure.
Yeah.
19.
Oh yeah, okay.
19 style.
shit, that's
Despite
better than
all
I
that,
could do.
you have
Wait,
your
wait. Do you have an agent?
Yeah.
I do.
An agent gives you +2 on wardrobe and style,
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
you're looking
wow.
up the
So
styles.
21.
All right, cool.
and library search.
Well, it is
There you
all
go.
There's a reason to have a phone.
Yes.
it is all cowboyed up,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like it's good stuff. It's muted colors though.
Yeah, sure. It's like
Yeah,
earth
cowboy.
tones, kind of.
Yep.
You've got color, but it's not like super saturated. It's like
Yeah.
kind of faded. Cool.
Whereas like
So
that'd be
do we-
different than before. Before he'd wear like the bright red
Mhm.
cowboy shirt and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
now he's just very like muted colors and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of tans and like faded blues and that kind of thing going on.
And grayscale.
Sure. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. You've
Depending on
got
where he's at.
you've got like with the 19 or now a 21, I'd say you've got like one of the old Levi jeans on that's like from the mining days way back. You know, somebody recovered from like a pre-2020 like era site or some shit like that, and it's like looking sharp. Dexy. How's Dexy rolling up?
God, I can either roll up in leathers or in regular clothes. It's like,
All right.
I did specifically buy a wardrobe of regular clothes, just so I had an option. Does it rolling up in urban flash outfit doesn't feel like the right choice for me down here? Like,
I'm here for it, man. Like however Dexy wants to be presented as he goes
I think
to
that's very non-threatening.
it is
wear,
non-threatening.
Like urban
It's
clothes,
very,
they're not
like-
going to be. They're going to be like, who's the fashion?
You're
Like,
not
who's
showing-
runway
you're
guy
not
down
showing
there
up in-
showing
like-
shit.
Yeah.
yeah, urban streetwear. Yeah, no, all right. Yeah, I'll show up in my urban flash pants, top, jacket, footwear, and mirror shades. Which of
Beautiful.
the footwear is like some sort of like really elaborate, like whatever, like post Nike
Oh yeah.
special. You had to like stand in line, and like only 3 people in the line got them, and like they
Mhm.
like self-close.
Do you
and,
also
like,
have the Supreme fanny pack like across your chest? Because you're just describing like half the people I saw in NYC.
No.
Like,
No.
Give me Dexy's wardrobe style just real quick. With the bonuses from the agent and all that good stuff too. Okay, cool.
21
We're equally
against
silent.
defense.
Yeah. So cool. You're all the two of you roll up. Silas looking like a legit no bullshit cowboy at this point, right? Like no longer aping a cowboy, no longer pretending to be a cowboy, but this guy has like rustled up cattle, give birth to calves. Like he has done it, and here he is on a bike.
Did he give birth to calves or help with birthing calves?
No, that's a good point.
Those are
That's a good distinction. He helped.
Who knows?
It is Cyberpunk Red. Anything can happen.
It's Cyberpunk. Anything can happen.
So, and you roll up in like streetwear with amazing kicks, right? And you've got the like newly cleaned mirror shades, perfect mirror finish, and you guys are rolling up to these two guards, and we're just gonna zoom in real quick on this microcosm of the situation. I'm gonna make you guys small, not
Yeah,
because
Heather, Silas for sure has a duster on because like it's dusty outside.
that's right.
So-
So y'all roll up, and one of the guards steps forward, and the other guard kind of hangs back. And he steps forward and puts like a hand out, and you can see that he's got an SMG that's slung, just kind of like laying on the like just above his belly, kind of thing, and he's got his hand like kind of on the handle, but he's not like brandishing it or anything like that. He's like got his thumb on the hand on the grip for it, kind of thing.
He's got a grip. He knows where it's moving around.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's not going to be flopping anywhere. And he's got a hand out like, hey, give y'all hold up. And this is right as you're coming to that underpass. There's a little like section where this path goes under a bridge, and as you're starting to dip down into that, he's giving y'all the sign. So you're kind of down in this ravine looking up at him, and you're like just now getting into the shade of that bridge.
I think stop. Yeah.
Yeah. We could stop in the shade because like it's out here. It's hot out here. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Hey.
you're dabbing the sweat, and it's like, look, I'm looking fresh, but like this is killing me,
Well, I mentioned it's Cyberpunk, and Dexy's got like this like puffer jacket on,
Oh yeah.
but it's got like environmental controls in it, so it's like you can like cool it, like
Oh,
wear
yeah.
it in the summer, like
Yeah, you pull a couple of tabs on the inside, and like all these panels move out of the way so that like it's actually breathing a lot for you, right? And if you flick a little switch in the back, a pump runs to move cool water kind of through the back of it and up through the pits to keep you like from overheating.
That's nice. I could use
half
that
puffer
all the time.
jacket, half steel suit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you guys are down in this ravine, and this guard is kind of up there and is like, "What are y'all doing out here? This is not like a place that people should be."
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, no problem. We're not out here to, cause any trouble. I like that idea, Jagos, that like Ta help put the cooling thing into the jacket.
Oh, the jammer thing.
Or the cooling unit. That's
Totally. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, because if you like take off the jacket and remove the lining, it's all janky in there, right? Because it's like there's this tubing and all this stuff going through and all that stuff, but when you're all styled up, it looks great.
As a professional, I trust his work.
I know how to make things good.
That's right. It's fair.
Todd's got the cable management down. Okay.
So give me while you're talking to this guy, Dexy, give me a perception. I'm gonna give it to Dexy because you've got the enhanced hearing.
Perception, or human perception?
Perception. Yeah, because you've got the enhanced hearing. So give yourself a +2. Oh, okay.
So that is a 11 in the end.
In the end, it's 11 because of the +2 from your cyber audio, right?
Yeah, 12 minus 3 is 9 plus 2
Okay.
for 11.
So this guy, this security guard, is talking to you. I'm going to give you on an 11. So even though you critically failed, you did not fail too much. And you are very skilled at this thing. And you have some cybernetic enhancements. You can hear the guard behind him is talking to someone. You can't hear what he's saying because the roll wasn't that good. But you while this guy is speaking with you, you can hear there's a conversation happening behind him. Oh, you're hearing like the guard behind him say stuff, basically, just so you kind of get some reward for having some cool perception stuff here. Anyways, he says, "Okay, who you with then, or who are you?"
Well, yeah, we're going to check with Silas to just see if he's like going to like try to wave me down or anything like that before going ahead.
Silas is just like, go ahead. We're not here to lie.
Yeah,
Shit
no, we're
complicated.
look, you're here on the train lines. We work for some folks. They had a train shipment that just never quite made it all the way to Sacramento. We've been trying to follow along the train lines and see if we could figure out where all it might get stuck or something like that.
You see him kind of like narrow his eyes a little bit. He's like, "You working for Smud?" You see him like clench his jaw and like work it around a little bit. Like he's real interested in this answer.
Oh, yeah, I don't even have to roll the human perception on that one.
Yeah.
Smud. I feel like I want to like spit when they say the name, right? Like, no, we're not working for Smud.
All right. Then who? If it's out of Sacramento.
Oh, it ain't out of Sacramento.
Oh.
This is just where it broke down.
Oh. Okay. He kind of looks you over. What about you there, cowboy?
How about him?
Uh-huh. Am I gonna have any trouble with you?
If you don't make any.
Okay. All right. Wait right there. And he kind of shouts back, "Hey, they're here about a train." And the guy's like, "Imagine that."
No shit, bud.
Train here at the train tunnel.
There's a pause, and then the guy says, and then his partner shouts back, "Are they with Smud?" "No, they already said they weren't with Smud." And then there's more conversation.
I think he calls down to the guy to like, "Are they with Smud?" We're both like, "Fuck no, we're not with Smud."
Yeah, he like shouts back at his partners like, "No, they're not with Smud." And he looks at y'all like, "Yeah, no, they're not with Smud." Like it's all good. And so there's this telephone game going on, right? As they're checking with someone and then they're asking questions and that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, it's just the two of them, right? And he says,
"You just want to take us all up there?" So
yeah,
we can have
right.
this
He's like, "No, I don't want to
conversation?"
just take you up here. No, I want
And
to."
so we're not under the underpass, and like our snipers still have clear line of sight.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent,
I don't say that part out loud.
You've got these two glassed. Like you got them dead to rights right now, right?
I've been spending the entire time hoping that they're lined up so I can get the perfect Modern Warfare headshot.
Yes,
How many-
exactly.
That's all I want.
Do we need to keep track of like every 3 seconds that happens in this conversation because Vinton's taking aim actions
Yes.
the whole time?
No.
He's gonna have like a plus
No.
600 by the time
No,
we get to the actual shot.
Like I'm not missing. Can't miss.
Plus 6,000. That's funny
I
stuff.
mean, if you spend like 10 minutes lining that shot up, you're gonna
no,
hit.
there's a diminishing return on that kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I got the wind and everything.
He hasn't become dead
Chris
shot after a
Kyle at
while.
this point.
Yeah. So, anyways, so these guys don't know that they're, being glassed, but yeah, you kind of ask that. It's like, nah, we've had some issues recently, so security is kind of touchy right now. Y'all seem legit to me, but it's not my call.
There.
Yeah. Tell you what, are y'all like with anybody? I can pass a name up. What are your names? I know you're looking for a
Dexy.
train, but you're Dexy, okay.
Silas.
Silas, okay.
Yeah, we're up here. Promoxy's our contractor.
Okay. Chromoxy's your employer. He kind of shouts back to his partner, Chromoxy's their employer. I got a Dexy and a Silas here. Kind of does a
Maybe you've
shrug.
seen Chromoxy on the side of a train.
Yeah, all right. Any he doesn't ask that question. He's like, have we ever heard of Chromoxy? Doesn't quite give away everything. And the guy's radioing back, and he says, and the guy's like, just bring him up here. Then he's like, all right, yeah, you two come with me. And then as you're coming up, he says, my name's Helios, and that's my partner Griggs over there. Just kind of get in the shade or whatever, and let's figure out what's going on. Griggs, are they sending somebody out, or what are we doing with these two guys? And Griggs like, are they armed? It's like, yeah, they're armed, man. They're like out here in the middle of nowhere trying to find a train, and they think we got it. So, like, of course they're armed. Well, they shouldn't be armed.
I mean, I'm not here to blow anything up, but
Yeah. He's like, well, they should. Griggs says,
I ain't
well,
got for rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
None of that.
Griggs says, well, they shouldn't be armed. He's like, he looks at you too. He's like, they don't want y'all armed. So, he kind of looks at you, Silas, like, what's gonna happen here?
Define armed.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Define armed.
Well, you got anything bigger than an SMG? Got an SMG on you?
No, just a pistol.
Just that? Okay. He looks over at you,
I got
Dexy.
a knife, but
Sure. Dexy, what does Dexy have that's obvious?
Dexy can like pull back like the edge of the puffer jacket, and there's like a shoulder holster with like a heavy pistol.
Okay.
Like this. This is only going to help you against rattlesnakes. It ain't going to do nothing to you guys. We both know that.
All right. He just shoots back. Hey, man, they just got pistols. Okay. And then you hear more conversation, right? And they say, all right, well, tell you what.
We're not in any position to cause any trouble. Look, we're barely even armed. Yeah,
We're so
it's
innocent.
just self-defense
Blink, blink, blink.
against wildlife.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Just everybody's a little gun shy right now. Everybody's a little on edge. But it's okay.
I can understand that.
It's okay.
Out this far, I bet you get plenty of like.
Oh yeah, and real quick,
Weirdies, right? Like people. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to say something. Okay, so he says, all right, well, since just the two of you and you're all right, they're gonna meet you inside. I'll take you over here, and Helios leads you over to the garage entrance thing, and there he hands you off to another security guard who has a shotgun, and he says, hey, I got a Dexy here and a Silas. They want to see about a train for Chromoxy. He says, all right, yeah, come on inside with me, guys. And he brings y'all inside. And y'all go into the mountain where...
We stare longingly at the door as it closes behind us, thinking,
right,
there was
yeah,
our covering fire.
It's a big metal door that shuts behind you. And y'all come into this huge underground rail complex that's built into the mountain. Right in front of you, as you first come in, are these two large buildings. They look like they are made during the time of the Red. They are pieced together from found objects. And there's a large group of people who apparently live in them, right? Especially in the larger one, you can see there are families, there are people that are just kind of like doing their day-to-day stuff, cooking food, washing clothes, just, treating wounded, that kind of thing. And over here, you see is more of a like command type structure. There's more guard presence here. There's like two guys outside. They're kind of stiffed up now, and they've got, they're kind of watching you as soon as you come into the complex. But you can see this tunnel has a wall that has moved. The wall has moved out so that this train line can come into the tunnel and then the train line, you can see it kind of snaking back through. There's big granite columns that are left in place holding the ceiling up. Your ceiling from floor to ceiling is probably 25 feet up to fit like rail through, heavy freight through. But built into this mountain is this big, expansive train depot thing. And you can hear welding, you can hear like cutting torches and all that kind of stuff going on back here. You can glimpse train cars and that kind of stuff. You can hear some heavy engines going. All those sounds kind of hit you as soon as you get through the membrane of that big steel door that's shut behind you, right? And the guard kind of walks you over towards this command building, the smaller building with the two guards outside. And like as soon as you come in, any family members that are here, they're all wearing like leathers and that kind of stuff. Almost everybody's armed. They all kind of stop and just watch you guys. And like you see his kids are being shuffled into the domicile, into the dorms, kind of
I'll
thing.
tip my hat.
Okay. Good stuff. And let's get you guys on the board real quick. So Silas, you're here. Dexy, you're here. Oh, and let me get names showing up real quick. Sorry, I have to do this stuff every time. I never know who's gonna be in a place, so I tend to be doing this as we roll. Anyways, so you guys are walking in towards this area, and one of the guards that's at the facility, at the building you're walking up to, kind of walks up, and the person who's escorting you says, "Hey, this is Dexy and Silas. They're here for Chromoxy, some train that they want to see about." Like, okay. So here's the deal. I can get you in to see Roberts. He's the one kind of in charge right now, while our leader's a bit on the mend. So, why don't you two come with me? He kind of looks you all over. Yeah, okay. Why don't you two come on with me? You all head into this building, and they take you. I'm just gonna put you all over here. They bring you inside. This is think of like sheet metal and just like wood panels and all that kind of stuff makes the exterior skin of this. It's clearly like nailed together, welded together, just piecemeal structure kind of thing. It has a roof, but it's just kind of to have a roof to keep the sound buried into things. Not like they're worried about weather under here. And as you come in, like all the walls are thin, right? You're looking at the construction of this. You're like, you might be able to kick your way through one of these walls if you had to, like, if we're honest about it, right? Because it's just bits of found stuff put together around a structure, like some firm kicks, and you're going to get through one of these walls if you needed to. And they bring you into kind of a yeah. They bring you into a little like sitting area. There's some old benches that have been dragged in here and set up. And the guard who escorted you in stays with you. And a few minutes later, this guy comes in. And he kind of he's wearing he comes in from the front door, and you see him taking off like big thick welder's gloves, and he's got these like just gnarly huge hands. They're all calloused up and gross, you know. He's probably like cracked some skin, a little bit of blood is coming down. He's got scorch marks around his neck, just from like just being in a hot environment. You can see his neck is red and like has some new burns kind of thing. He comes in, he just smells of sweat and like metal, and he sits down on one of the chairs and says, So here, Dexy, you in the nice clothes, and Silas, you're both here about some kind of train, and you think we have something to do with that?
No, not casting aspersions. I don't know. You guys have full information, by the way. This place is impressive. Uh, we're just trying to figure out because we had, I guess, we have some friends. They are supposed to have a shipment that was supposed to hit Sacramento on its way down to Night City. Never made it the whole way there. So,
Yeah, all
just
right.
trying to see if we can figure out where that might have gone.
All right, yeah, okay.
Recover
So,
what there is to recover.
what was on this train? Do you know?
Fuck ton of steel.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that was Mike drawing a blank. Yeah.
Yeah, you see his eyes kind of shift a little bit, like he knows exactly what you're talking about. Just human perception. A guy like you, Dexy, you're gonna read this kid. He's kind of like he's kind of reading like a foreman here, and so he's not. He doesn't have the social chops to conceal a lot of stuff from a guy like Dexy with your human perception. It says, all right. So I heard down the line that you're not with Smud. Can I get a sense of what your opinion of Smud is?
Are you familiar with Dirt? Because that's higher on our list than Smud.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Gives me some comfort that we're kind of seeing the world from the same angle.
We have no love for Smud.
Okay.
Were they on fire, I wouldn't do anything to them. I'll put it that way.
Okay. So if some
Well,
pain
I
were
don't
to if some pain were to visit them, you wouldn't try and stop that.
Not in the slightest.
All right. Well, that's good. That gives me some comfort. That gives me some relief.
They sit on the sideline and applaud. But, I'm not going to
Okay.
stop them.
Well, I'll be straight with you. We have your train. We have a couple of trains. Big Iron Gang is on strike, as I like to see it. Smud has been fucking us over for months now. We bring in shipments, payments late, payments light. But you go along with it because it's a job, it works. They haven't paid us the last 3 runs that we've done. They owe us big, real big. We took some losses. We lost some material, some good people. And then to not get paid, payments next time, it's too much. So, on our way through, we come through this way a bit. We discovered that there's a false wall. This whole place used to be some, I don't know, military outfit or something. Fucking, I don't know what it was, but we found it. We made it our own. And now trains don't go to Sacramento. Not on Highway 80, not down this line. We own all that. Trains come here. Any crew that was there, we put them to work. A bunch of them have security. They got drones and shit. Take care of that, no big deal. It's only a matter of time that somebody came asking, and I was kind of hoping it would be Smud first, but it's you two. You got this client of yours. Who is Chromoxy? What do they do? What do they need all this steel for?
Building arcology
Oh,
and big ass building. If you're not familiar,
all right. So they're nomads. Is that what you're
has
telling me?
about 1 million people, something
Sure.
like that.
Sure, but they're in construction, so you're telling me they're nomads?
They're nomads, yeah.
All right. Well, I have to talk to somebody about this. We weren't ever supposed to be hurting nomads. If y'all can sit tight, give me a minute. Maybe have some food. Bring them some food or water or something. I don't know. Y'all need anything? This might take a minute.
It's hot out there. We'll take some water.
Silas will just lean back in the chair and cross his legs and put his hat on his knee.
Okay. So he gets up and kind of lumbers out of the room. And he goes back out the way he came in. And food and water is brought to you guys. When do y'all check in with Vincent? Because he's going to be gone for a little bit to get his answers.
I mean, now would be the time.
I feel like, yeah, like once he's out of the room, it's like, hanging out and having a drink. How's everything outside? LOL. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, Silas's report would be more like, they got the train. Don't seem too happy that they fucked over some nomads. Maybe we got it.
I will calm back and text back. I'm glad y'all are okay, because I was freaking out. Let me know if situation change. May maneuver the yeah. May
Will be our code
maneuver
word.
to Xfield.
While you're kind of sitting there, why don't both of you give me a perception just to see what you overhear while you're in here? Because this building, again, thin walls, conversations could bleed through to you. And I just want to see what all you're picking up while you're in here.
That is my favorite number. I've rolled
19s.
19s
Yes.
in a row.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Definitely not the worst number to roll repeatedly.
No, especially not in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. My nose was a 17. The cyber.
Oh yeah, because you've got the 15 plus the 17 plus 2. Okay, cool. So you're both in here and you're kind of eating your food and quietly spending time with this guard, right? And he's not really engaging with y'all. This is all way over his pay grade. He's just making sure you stay in the room, kind of thing. But you hear news of your arrival and your situation is filtered throughout the rest of the building. And one of the guys, one of the voices in there, feminine voice says, "Does this mean the hit is off? Like, what's gonna happen?" I was like, "Shut up! No, it's not off. Just they got to figure out how to do it, okay?" And so there's like concern that some plan is now coming off the rails, right? Kind of filtering amongst the mid tier, the mid tier brass here at Big Iron Gang, right? And you can kind of filter just some of those words coming through the walls as you're in here waiting.
So when somebody brings stuff in, is there like that, like just they just come and go immediately? Is there any chance to try to like the guard here clearly won't have a conversation with us? Is there any chance to try to like get anything out of the person who came in with the other stuff?
Totally.
Like,
yeah, you can absolutely strike up a conversation with anybody who brings you stuff in. Absolutely.
Okay. Because like I'd kind of like to figure out like, how long you been out here and like blah blah blah. No, when Helios was in here, the other guy was in here. And he said that like you had somebody who got hurt. Are they doing okay? Some medical people maybe had to.
Yeah, give me your conversation. Like, I want to see how well you can navigate this because there is the guard there, and that kind of puts a damper on any like real free flow of conversation. So
yeah, there's a chance that he just is like stop talking to them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Well, so it's a critical failure, but it's still like a 13.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a standard success. I'm going to say that like you start to ask some questions and strike up a quick conversation, and he gives you like a brief like, "Oh, I know that answer," and then he kind of is like, I should probably leave that to Helios. But I hope you guys are comfortable and you find the food and water to your tastes."
Yeah. Thanks. Be polite and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. After a little while, Helios comes back. And he says, "Hey, why don't y'all come with me? We got going to show you something and introduce you to somebody. And he takes you
Just
out.
check in with Silas. It's like, yeah.
Silas is going with the flow until it's time to not do that.
Yeah. So he takes you out to the yard, and you guys,
Deeper into the time machine.
you guys come out and look out in this yard, and they've got your train is looped around this middle part. They've got it looped so it's blocking the exit path, like all the cars for it kind of follows along this loop around the bottom, blocks the exit, and comes back, and you can see the engines for your train. You see all the carts. You see that a couple of the cars are empty of stuff, and then further on, deeper into here, you see a bunch of like other train cars that were clearly hauling stuff, and they're just kind of cars abandoned on these other lines. So if you can kind of imagine this thing that I've drawn here is just rail lines, right? And these are all like little offshoots where you can park some train cars. And so 3 of these have empty or cars on them without engines, right? So there's a string of cars, and then a string of cars and a string of cars, and then the last 2 are empty, fully empty. But these first 3 lines don't have any engines attached to them, and then this big metal line, or the big steel train set has 3 engines on the front, a bunch of engines on the back, and it looks like all the engines in this place are attached to this train. And you can see where they have been welding on top of the cars. They have been welding like big, like big defensive structures. So like steel walls and protection for troops, for somewhere they got a big gun, like a big artillery thing. And that's on one of the rail cars. And you can see that they are building a juggernaut of a train with thick metal walls all along it. And out in front of the train, just in front of one of the engines, is this little old lady. And she is in a wheelchair. And, kind of right next to her are 2 big bruiser guys. And she's sitting out there, and you can see that she's like maybe a little paler than she should be, right? But she's got some kind of deep eyes, some deep sandbags under her eyes. She's been through some hell recently. And Helios kind of walks you guys up and says, Dexy, Silas, this here's Gran, these are the 2 boys that you heard about looking for our project here. And she says, boys, I appreciate you both coming all the way out here. I understand that this train was meant for better things. She says, I have bad news for you. We have plans for this train. We mean it to do a great deal of harm to those fuckers over at Smud. And I really can't part with it at this point. I'm sure that you're with a bigger outfit, but this here project of ours has been something we've been working on for a number of weeks, and this big line of hate is going to do a lot of damage to those fuckers over at Smud. And At this point, we're kind of at wit's end. This is our shot.
Well, steel belongs to another family, and I appreciate what you're trying to do with it.
I heard that as a.
I'm trying to find it for we're trying to find it for another family. Our family's been the one trying to find it for their family.
You're with a family. What family are you with?
Yeah, Midnight Runners.
Sorry, I haven't heard of y'all yet. Are you?
Yeah, we're mostly down around Night City, but we've been working on this up here.
Okay.
Hopefully temporarily.
Do y'all do much on trains? I pretty much know all the rail gangs or all the rail families.
Can't say we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
No.
First experience with trains was trying to come find this one.
Oh. So you're
probably
rooks at this.
Gonna stick with the train business.
That's good. And Chromoxy, their construction. Is that what their billet is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do they need? Do they need the whole train?
They need to steal.
They need the steel to build an arcology. That's their contract.
Helios.
So before we dig too far into that, what all is your plan here? You're just gonna ram this train straight up the backside of their building?
That's a great question there, Dexy. Yeah, we do have a bit of a plan when it comes to this train. You can kind of see what's on it. That big barrel right there. There are two spots on the lines where, with the orientation it's on right there, lines up perfect to Smud headquarters. Once when we're outside the city, we've got all those angles figured out, and then when we get through the walls, finish whatever we missed, kind of thing.
So she's talking about barrels like
oh, there's on this train kind of think of all they've got all these like train cars, right? And they're modifying them with the steel that they've taken off this train. And by no means is all the steel used. You're actually looking and there's a ton of steel not used, right? Because what they need are like sheets of steel, not I-beams, right? I-beams are a pain to work with on this kind of thing. But so they have all these like train cars that they've modified to have extra protection. And then one of the train cars has like an artillery barrel angled straight forward, right? And it's got a channel where it can be raised and lowered, but it can't move left to right.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing. And she says, honestly, our plan was a minimal crew. Doesn't take much to run one of these things. Get it to the right spot. Shoot our shot. If that doesn't work, the front engines have the ability to detach, race ahead, make an opening, and then I got 7 engines that will push all this hate through that wall where we get another shot at that building. Idea is, get some payback for all they've done to us and all they've screwed us over on. Send a message that you don't fuck with the big iron gang. It's sad that it came down to this, but it's where we're at. We're at wit's end. This is our, do or die kind of situation.
So after you blow them to Kingdom Come, what's your I mean, they're not paying you.
Nope.
And they definitely won't pay you with a hole in their head. So who's going to be paying you after this?
Once that's done, I got all these trains still looking for homes. And I can sell all that. But I got to do this first.
What about the steel you don't need?
I mean, I was going to sell it. It was going to be part of our make good. But it bothers me that there's a family out there that is waiting on this.
And a lot of people waiting on a home.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got a couple questions. If you don't mind, I'm gonna need to take a couple minutes. So, brother doesn't seem like the right term for somebody in a nomad family, but also like member of nomad family with me. Gonna need to need to take a call for a minute. So that's gonna be okay. I think my first question is these I beams. They're not gonna do you much good strapping to the side of these trains.
No, that's true. We
So-
were gonna sell them and try and get some.
If nothing else,
get some eddies back on that.
we would really appreciate. We got an engine. If we could come up here, take those I beams and get them through the city before y'all do your thing.
Hmm.
But I do want to have a conversation with a couple other members of my family before you do your thing.
Sure,
If that's okay.
We're not ready today, so you got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Um,
How soon are you looking at being ready?
She kind of looks over at Helios. Goes, it'll be this week.
That lines up with other things that are going on in our world.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
make your call.
We can make it work.
Yeah. She says, okay, well, make your call. I mean, I'm open to some ideas, but there's a lot of this I can't part with at this point. It means too many people are depending on this.
I can understand that. If there's someplace, a little bit of privacy where we could touch base with our people.
Sure. You might not get great reception down here in this mountain. I would say just head out towards the tunnel, walk out either side you like. Helios, make sure they get a little bit of privacy. And Helios is like, all right, he points to one of the guards and like starts walking y'all kind of towards the tunnel entrance, and says, he points to one of the guards like, hey, just give him some space, right, kind of thing. I mean, that's all they can really do. And sure enough, like when you get further out, you start to get signal again on your agent. You may not even notice that you had lost signal when you're down in here, but like when you're under all that granite and you're around all this metal, you lose a lot of that signal. And these guys aren't doing anything to repeat that signal down in here. So once you get back out towards the tunnel, you get your signals back, and y'all's comms start to work again.
What you think?
I think we want to circle up with. I think we definitely want to talk with Vinton and Ta. I think.
Oh,
I've got a pitch.
Sorry, everybody on the
we
thing.
lost Vinton.
We just lost Vinton.
We just said we need to talk to him. Come on. Every time.
There it is.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. All right.
Boy,
So I've
Discord
got a
has the
pitch.
worst timing.
We just have to stop telegraphing that we're about to talk to Vinton. Like,
Or mention heavy
Like-
expenses.
That's
yeah.
so. Here's my pitch. We have them we have them pull the stuff around in the tracks that they have in there, so they can mount those artillery ones facing backwards. Have them take everything through the city and fire as they're leaving out the other side.
I'm sorry.
After we've already moved our stuff out.
I'm sorry.
I was laughing just at
What?
the plan that they had. I mean, like that's a silly plan. And then when you say the backwards gun, he's just gonna really laugh, gut belly, hearty laugh.
So you want us? Look, I got no love lost. I have no problem with helping them in other ways, but risking what steel we have left to get through Smud, where we got the paperwork to get us through, is not ideal. They got
That
AA
paperwork's
gun.
so good after the bad meat, right? To get the train through.
Y'all have the paperwork.
Should be.
Okay, so that's all still good. They didn't like put revoked
Non
or anything
and
like
void.
that.
Yeah, no, there's no. He's already handed you the paperwork you would need to show to get a big train through the city.
Okay.
We don't necessarily like the people who are wanted necessarily don't have to be on there. We can take back roads back down to Night City, or hide,
Yeah. Look,
Um,
way I see it, we gotta get this deal through. The question is what we gotta do. Get them to give it to us.
We can get the I-beams through, no problem.
How much
Yeah,
I-beam
but
is left? How
all
much
that
is
other
left steel?
stuff.
Yeah,
Like-
y'all don't have a really firm inventory, but you notice that a lot of the rolled steel was used in making what looked to be about 5 cars of combat cars. And one of those 5 cars had that artillery barrel sticking out of it. So there's still a lot of train left with a lot of metal. And it looked like their plan was to hold on to a lot of it to try and sell that metal, right? But still use those first 5 cars of heavy load to kind of punch a hole through things or bully their way down the track. I mean, once they're up to momentum, once they're up to speed, there's not a lot people can do to stop it, other than like a forceful derail, which they wouldn't be able to have time to like really set something like that up. So like from a attack
And
them
you
from,
wouldn't want to do it in the middle of a city.
yeah, exactly, because it's just gonna it's gonna kill something else, something else you care about that is next to the rail line. There's all kinds of important stuff over there. So yeah, it's one of those things like, sure, you shoot your shot and you're gonna do a lot of damage, but you're also gonna like ruin some part of the lines. It's gonna take somebody a long time to unscrew that situation.
I don't want to risk the steel, Dexy, or what's left of it. We gotta at least get the I-beams out. See if there's any information they want. Remember, we know who's screwing them over, and we know the gang. I have no issues killing those rats down there in that tunnel. And honestly, if we had more time, I wouldn't mind going into combat with these. They seem like my type of. I feel really, really bad now that I shot Grandma. Don't tell him that. Thanks, David, by the way. Thanks for making me feel like the biggest POS.
I'm here for you, bro.
I appreciate you, buddy. I was like, man, I thought these were bad people. Now I'm like,
They're not good
So,
people.
like-
if that makes you feel any better.
no, they're going after Smud. By this standard, they are excellent.
I mean, they're just
So-
like us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
I
got
not
mean,
shit
doing
going
they
anything
on.
we
were
wouldn't
taking
do.
slaves, kind of. So I mean, that's not great.
Eh,
I don't. Is that how
True.
that worked? I thought they were just like, "Yo, what are you guys doing?"
Well-
And they're like,
Well,
"Wanna hook up
last
with
time
us?"
it's very.
Last time they
Oh,
made
okay.
Yeah.
they were playing up like they were taking it. So like
Yeah, it was
that's
the situation was that Galaxy was looking like it was in distress. And so they were like, "Hey, come on in. We're going to put you to work." Right? And probably the deal is anybody who stumbles across their little project did get put to work, cuz it was not yeah, you get to leave and the information about what we're about to do gets to leave with you, right?
Mm,
But that work was
Oh.
probably temporary.
Yeah.
Because what they needed to do was weld up themselves a battle train and then go and
Yeah.
kill a city with a battle train, and then like the project is done, right? And now they're
Mhm.
free to go and move their stuff and sell their stuff, and they'll release whoever stumbled across their little project.
see how much of we can get back. See if there's a deal there. Going to war with these people is not on the docket. And if all else fails, we'll fall back on your plan, Dexy. Hook them up and let them try to get our stuff through the city by force. Let's see if there's a deal we can work out. Either taking out the
Well-
scavin, bringing them the head of the purchasing guy, cutting them in on the deal, though I'm not ideal on that. Like,
There's a price. We just got to figure it out. We can get that steel. It's not.
Well, is there somebody else that we could find as a buyer for the other stuff that they have that might make up for what they lost out of Smud?
Dexy, you'd be the best one to know who could need this kind of raw good and material. I'll give you a contact roll from your operator. Like, do you just off the top of
Okay.
your cuff, like, hey, actually, I know a bunch of First Cities folk. I know a bunch of folks, this and that and the other, that really do need, like, all the raw goods that they've got in this stupid mountain thing.
Yeah, can I spend luck on that?
Yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. Roll your.
I'll spend 3 luck on that one.
Okay.
And just straight up operator.
Yep. I think so, right? When you're looking at contacts, I think it is just a straight roll. Okay, good. So 9 plus 3. Is that right? Is 9 your
Yeah.
total, or is it 12? Is 12 your total?
Yeah, it is 9 and then plus 3 from luck.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, Dexy, you've been around, right? And you know that there are people who need the goods that they've got, especially around the Night City area. Night City is rebuilding right now. Almost all their trains, almost all their stuff could find purchase in Night City. You know probably 3 people that you could put them in contact with that would buy some of what they've got. And once they're on that side of the world, they can move it down to LA to get rid of the rest or what have you. So yeah, you know some people that would buy what they've got.
Yeah. Is that something we want to try to pose as a thing?
Yes. Then rolls back and says, yes.
Man, anything that keeps us from having to jump on that big box of death metal and have to try to take on Smut is okay with me. This ain't our fight.
Yeah, I'd rather try to unweld that off there so that they can like use it back in Night City than like, I mean, look, no love not lost for Smud, and like anything that's gonna blow up their building, I want to see. But hey, that's a neat idea. I wonder if that will work. But yeah, we have more things that are supposed to happen with that steel, and getting buried under the ruins of the Smud HQ.
Yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't seem as likely to me, but I think we can get what's left, at the very least.
So yeah, we can go back and have another meeting. And my response can be the same one as with Roy. Have you considered moving?
Have you considered moving to Night City and joining the Midnight Runners?
Brothers, let's just expand our power tenfold here
let's
right now.
just recruit everybody that we meet. And that's how you win, because everyone is you.
We're going to be a nation anytime now. We're going to,
Yeah.
we're gonna have
That's
Big
our first
Iron
step
under
to becoming a nation.
group. We're going to have the rails. We're going to open a Roy's franchise in every city in California.
Yeah.
It's
I love
right.
this.
Let's see if we can
do
make
we,
this
we
happen.
want to go make that pitch?
Yeah. So just so I'm clear, so we want to get the steel through the city. That's what we want. That's our side of the bargain. We want all the steel that's left, at the very least, what's left, get it through the city before they try to blow it to Kingdom Come, preferably. Because that would complicate things with our paperwork.
Ideal scenario is there is no blowing the Kingdom Come, right? 'Cause then everything gets complicated.
Secondary objective is talking them down. Primary objective, get that steel through. And then we just got to figure out what they want in return,
Yeah,
Gotta meet that
because I mean, if we can talk them through to be, hey, we know people, we don't know anybody here, and you're owed a lot of money. But if you come back towards Night City, we know lots of people, right? And material A and B and C that are in all those other cars that you've got that aren't ours, we can get you buyers for no problem.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're necessarily going to be like, okay, you know what? We'll dismantle our death train. You make a good point. Let's dismantle the death train. I don't see that happening, but like after they blow it to Kingdom Come, we're not going to be there for that. But after they do it, they can come on down and sell their stuff. It'd be great. Nobody's going to stop you driving through a city that you just blew to hell. So it's a good.
Unless the trucks get destroyed, and then that's your own fault. You just
Again,
get
But
to
our
go
steel's
instead.
our steel's already through, so that's not an issue.
Not our
We
problem.
want to try to not entangle ourselves in the situation. I think is also the hidden secret agenda is to not get in between all of this, because that's not.
Yeah.
That's not our bag. That sounds like
We've done
something we do back in the day, right? We're
it.
older now. We're
Let's just screw
wiser.
each other over without
Oh,
getting
we-
ourselves
like,
screwed in the process.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
done
there we
that
go.
plenty of times.
Yeah, let's.
We're grown-ups. We have a plan. We have a non-violent, mutually beneficial plan.
I love that you guys are like actively trying to grow. I love this. This makes me so happy. Oh my god.
Plan B, we help them blow Smut up, and they're so thankful they give us our shit.
Like, don't like we grow, but only but so much, David. Then still like
We
I
fall,
would like
we
to
fall
have.
back to the old ways.
Right.
We have
Yeah.
the old ways
Really
to fall
quickly.
back on.
Yeah.
You know.
We're good at
We'll do it
that.
quickly, but we don't want that as our first option anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. We're exploring other venues, other avenues of adventure.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna go back to Gran,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
You head back in. The guard kind of walks with y'all. And he as you're kind of coming back towards him, he's like, "Well," he kind of looks at you guys. "Well, you didn't run off, so I figure you got yourselves an idea."
Got a couple ideas. We'll see which one works out here.
That's good. That's good. Let's get you back to Helios and Gran. And
Yes.
he walks you back, and she's there with this med tech who's kind of checking her over. And they're having this conversation, and you all kind of wait up for that conversation to be done. And the med tech does some stuff with some equipment that's on her wheelchair, and then kind of steps off to the side, and then y'all walk up. And Helios is standing there with Gran and says, "Hey, so Gran is starting to lose a little bit of energy for the day, so we might not be able to wrap everything up right here, but glad to see you're back. Looks like y'all might have some ideas for us."
Yes, sorry. Yeah. I think, when we came back, we talked with our people. Sorry to hear Grant's not feeling. Sorry, you're not feeling great right now, Grant. I think we've got an idea, and I think we can work things out.
She says,
Because I know you and yours, you're owed a lot of money, and you deserve that money. And you've got all sorts of stuff here, aside from providing strength, that's worth money, right? You just need to be able to sell it. And our family, we're just visiting up here. But these rail lines, they run all over the state. If you were down by Night City, all these cars, we know people who would want to buy everything in those cars.
"Really? Give me on this one. Give me your persuasion." Kind of versus her human empathy. Or human perception, I mean.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Whoa, nice 20.
20.
Good stuff. Okay, sorry. You see her eyes kind of like, oh. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. So you're saying that once we're done here, we get this stuff through on down to Night City, you might have some buyers for us, and you would do us that favor.
Almost. I think what we had more in mind was Smud sucks. I ain't gonna rush that. You know it. You know it way more than I do. I've just missed it. But we think it's going to be a lot easier on everybody if we just scoot through and just abandon them. Now, if you want to send people back after the fact, do whatever you want with them. I get that. I'm down for that. I understand. Our first thought is we take some of these panels back off, scoot through town, we get you down to Night City, we sell you your stuff. Hell, you get set up back down there. Glad to partner with you for whatever you guys need.
She's kind of thinking it over, and Helios says, Bran. And she goes, I know.
Like, I know you've got a well-deserved and deep-seated issue with Smud. And I don't take it lightly to ask you guys to just like set that on hold. When you've got what by all means is an astounding plan. I am so on board with that. That is so cool. But also, blow up Smud HQ. Something happens to the rails through the city, then none of this stuff's going to get through to Night City to sell.
So that's the pitch. So we put this on hold or ditch it entirely and move everything back here through Smud, through Sacramento. And then once we're on the other side, you're going to help us sell it all, other than the steel that goes to your Chromoxy.
Yeah. That is the plan.
Helios is like looking at her with like a really stern stare. She goes, it's a really interesting proposition. You know, we're a family and we've been kind of dedicated to this project for a little while. I don't know that we'd be able to give up on it lightly. I was kind of hoping that maybe if y'all, she says, I was kind of hoping if, you know, maybe Midnight Runners didn't have any love for Smud, we could involve you in this plan. Maybe get your stuff through first, scout some targets out for us, that kind of thing. Help us do our mission here. But I see what you're saying. I see it.
So I think then the extension to the pitch that I'm not sure how to phrase in character as Dexy then is like to try to sell her on the idea that we don't do giant train gun. We move stuff through Night City, and then like the Midnight Runners help you do some kind of operation against Smud.
Yeah, because
Right,
we know
like,
the guy who's fucking him
without-
over.
Yeah, we have
So we don't
operators. We
need
know
a-
the guy who's been screwing with you. You send us
don't need
in
a
to like
giant
do
train
a
gun. We need a
Yeah.
small person-sized gun to get that guy, and then we're good, right? Pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
can't really fix Smud, but maybe
we get stuff
constellation.
through. We at least get you your revenge on that guy.
Oh.
And you know, depending on what else we can, you know, leave behind and remote detonate from the building when we leave, then you know, what happens to Smud happens to Smud.
Okay. So, you know who this guy is. I just know a name, Sayforth. But you know who he is?
So like out of character question, like we
Yeah,
do know
yeah,
more than just
Yeah, it's kind of like
at least a little bit more.
the crew knows who Sayforth is, has never met Sayforth. They were actually going to meet Sayforth when the arrest went down. And Sayforth is in Sacramento purchasing, right? He's the one that's been basically not paying the bill. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, we you know we know how to get hold of Sayforth. And once we have hold of Sayforth, then we introduce them to our little friends, right? Have to have the gun there. Strong.
She says, okay, well, that's an idea. I think that if I could offer the family Sayforth, that would quiet a lot of the. She kind of is looking over at Helios. She says, I think that would quiet a lot of the rage here, a lot of the hate.
Certainly not as spectacular as that.
Yeah,
but
well,
it's justice.
we just knew the building. She's like, frankly, you know, that was what we had to work with. But if you know how to get your hands on Sayforth, you do that, I think we could stitch all this stuff up and move it on through the city nice and quiet. But I would want Sayforth up front.
Dead or alive?
Preferably alive, honestly, but dead works too. He needs to pay for what he's done to my people.
We'll bring him in one package or multiple. Yeah.
She kind of grimaces like, oh, I don't need all that. Thank you. She says, but before I shake on it, I do need to talk to my people. Okay? But
I can understand that.
What you're offering is appealing to me. It gives me a shot at making right by us and still letting us have, you know, a way to make good on everything we've lost. So
I think if there's a point where like they're going to start to break so that they can go do that, if you can kind of like, can I grab Helios like by the elbow for a second?
Sure.
Because I kind of want to do the pitch to him that like, you know, I understand she's hurt. I can't make any promises because that ain't my field of expertise.
He's kind of
We
like
got a med tech.
He's a tall, big, broad-shouldered guy, so he's kind of like leaning down, listening to you. You know.
Yeah. We got a med tech with us, and if we can get you back down to Night City, I know we got more med techs down there. He's out there somewhere, right? Like that's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's with the old campgrounds, keeping barefoot.
Like Bigfoot or something.
Yeah,
like that,
or Bigfoot tribe alive. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I like Gran. Just better, but I got a good feeling about her. I think we got some people who might be able to help.
Okay. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't like not shooting that building. My heart's been kind of set on it.
Hey, I just saw that gun like 10 minutes ago, and I agree with you because that gun. That's it.
It'll put a big hole in that big block of metal they got up there. But look, Sayforth might be a ticket here. It might be a way to make everybody feel like there's some justice still here in this world. I like the idea of Gran getting fixed up. I really do. So, you let me know what's possible on that front. And I'll talk to some of the guys.
I'll get in touch with our folks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with our folks.
Okay. And he kind of looks at you like straight in the eye for a second, and he says, "Those contacts you got at Night City, that's no bullshit, right?"
I think Dexy will like put the mirror shades up on his head, which doesn't help much because he has the cyber eyes anyway. It's like, family to family. We're not screwing you on that front. You guys deserve the money for the work that you've done here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And he kind of like, so he kind of glanced over. It's like, hey, they're taking Gran back to her place. So
I'll let you go. Yeah.
You go talk to your people. I'm gonna go talk to my people. if there's an alternative and Safeworth pays for what he's done, I think that could do it.
I'll get him.
I believe that you could. He looks you over. Is like,
Like
yeah.
and Chip Stylus on the shoulder. It's like never seen him not come back when somebody said that about.
I think Silas would kind of let just a little bit of a smile. He said, "This big iron ain't for show."
Good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, I think we gotta get you back to your people, and we'll be hearing from you. I guess when you know more, we'll give you a phone number you can call. It goes to a phone here in this building, and we'll hear from you there. How do we get a hold of you once we've gotten our decision?
Very like points at like a layup line phone. Everybody's like,
Yeah, no, it's like there's over by the garage. There's legit like an old style handset hanging off a wall, and he's like, it rings that phone right there. That phone never rings, but we figured out the number for it. So, and he asked, how do we get a hold of you? Do you have a number or something? Email? Dead drop you like to use?
Dexy's number, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you give him your contact info from your agent. Okay. All right. Well, good travels, you two. See you. And y'all leave. Unless you want to do something else.
Not bad.
Well, if they're walking away, that should be open fire.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of just want to start shooting people. Right?
Sweet. Yeah,
just blow it all up.
I did not know how this was gonna go, but good on you for going in there with some.
It's way easier to get one dude than it is to get a whole building.
Yeah,
like so much easier.
Yeah,
their plan is to. It's such a
unless
hammer
you're still going to
to
do it with that gun.
Their plan is not good, but it does make a statement.
it does.
Sure it does.
And I think that's the important part. It doesn't have to work.
Right.
They still made the statement.
Right.
And whoever's in purchasing is going to think twice before they fuck off another contractor.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So yeah, well, I mean, when artillery is fired at your headquarters twice, and whatever was going on with those other cars goes to fruition, which they didn't like get into all the nitty gritty for you guys. Yeah, like that would send the statement
that's
like
a lot of mass to be.
I feel like that's a get out of Dodge and do the same thing the next day. Start up it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna fuck over these guys. I'm gonna keep fucking over.
SMUD as a whole would have to be like, okay, so this is what happens when we don't pay people. We get a hole in our building. So we're gonna pay people on time. Like,
yeah, dude,
those just not worth it.
Those net 30 payment contracts, they're a bitch when you don't pay them. You know, like those fees and fines will get you. And when you screw with the big iron gang,
hire less capable people and risk your contract not getting done. Like,
yeah,
kind of over a barrel when it comes to artillery.
So, yeah, they let y'all go. Nobody, like, it's all cool in the gang. And you're out. You're free. I don't have anything else planned for this. I feel like there's a lot of discussion that's going to happen offline now as everybody figures out what y'all want to do.
Kidnap a dude. We've done this before. We have definitely kidnapped a guy from a place that really didn't want the guy to leave. Like, there's precedent. We can do it.
You captured Oz out of a SMUD secure facility.
And we got that dude's lover or whatever out of the...
And we did that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, okay, we're actually kind of good at this. We could actually possibly do this.
Wait a minute. Okay, not to be the wet blanket here. That was episode 3 before they started figuring out who blew up the building. And that was episode 10, I think, of this season. Before.
No, we blew up the building before we got
Before
Oz.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, 'cause, yeah,
know-
we
Hey,
weren't
man,
in a shit
dude's
storm.
gotta
Got
eat.
it.
Dude's gotta sleep. We're not going into the damn office building. Like,
oh no,
That's
but like if you
stupid.
think a high echelon, like this is Vinton at this point. Like, do you really, Silas, think a high echelon member of SMUD is just going to be rolling in the Garden District?
do you know how few people they
I
let
mean-
into places like that? Why wouldn't he?
So, y'all have stuff to figure out. I love
Yeah.
this. I love this. I really, okay, so GM disclosure. I was like, when y'all show up, I kind of figured y'all to just like, hey, you know, maybe they're nomads, maybe they're cool, go talk to them, right? And so I was like, originally thinking y'all were going to see this plan and be like, fuck it, let's do this. Because, like, the Midnight Runners that came to Chapter 2 would have done this.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
then we got stuck in Sacramento for like 20 episodes, and we're just like not about it anymore.
It's
We're
like,
tired.
done. It's like,
Sacramento's got
shot.
like Sacramento's got this special kind of bullshit going on that we want the Night City bullshit back. That we can handle.
like
Yeah.
we miss Night City. Like Vinton's like, I never thought these words would come out my mouth, but God, I miss Night City.
Give me 10 firehouses to attack at this point. Like, fuck, that'd be easier than taking on a whole city.
At this
Too
point,
soon. Too soon.
like, jeez.
I got 2
You
arms
made a-
this time, so I mean I can probably do a pretty bang up job in that firehouse now.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Y'all
I'm not
have,
coming in quiet at the firehouse this time. Like, we're going in loud. I have
y'all have no idea. Like, when I put this chapter together, I was like, oh man, the finale is going to be like artillery hitting some headquarters and shit blowing up. We're going to like fight this train through the city. It's going to be amazing. And then,
Yeah,
like,
Connor.
we kept
Hypo
going,
cinema?
and I
Get
just
out of
felt
there.
y'all like desire to leave Sacramento was mounting more and more. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get my fireworks show.
Oh, don't count us out just yet, David. You might get something.
Oh my god.
It'll be something.
Oh my god.
I
Yes.
mean, we can keep the gun for the future. You know, that'll be
Yeah,
our gun.
like
We'll be like, you know what? This is a great gun. You be a part of us. We'll like share resources. We want the gun. End of the day, we want that gun.
We want that
You were
howitzer.
looking for
Okay.
buyers for your shit, right?
Yeah.
We'll buy that.
We'll buy that thing right there.
There's,
Thanks.
there's a rail line that
No
runs by the
practical use
firehouse,
for it.
right? Just,
We'll
No
do cars.
practical
You do
use
trains,
for
but
it.
we keep that gun.
Yeah.
we want that.
Oh my god. Yeah. So, fun Google project for everybody. Go look up war trains. They're a legit
Oh my God,
thing.
the goose. I know. They're
And-
super awesome.
And they are terrifying. So yeah, war trains are a thing. It's badass. Okay, let's wrap this up and do XP real quick.
Trains are cool. They only work once. Because, like, just blow up the tracks after the train. Like, you don't want that to happen again. Just cut the tracks.
Well, so like that's the thing is that like there was even suggestions in the chat for you guys to blow up the tracks. It's like wait, like they need the train
We
to
need
go. Yeah.
We need to leave. We
gotta
don't
get
want to be
the-
set
we
with a
need to
big
use
ass
that.
gun and smug yelling at us or shooting at us. Excuse
They
me.
had one of those big ass guns and oh man, this is gonna be a weird reference. It was like the second Sherlock Holmes movie that had like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was
One
the
of
cool
those
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like an
Big
early cool stuff.
giant
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Train mounted artillery is a thing, legit. And so I was like, I have no qualms about these guys using artillery off a train. Like it's gonna work. It's gonna be great.
Are we sure, like, if they fired it, that it wouldn't just blow up everything around it? Is it like a handmade kind of train gun? Because I also wouldn't.
Ta
trust
hasn't
that.
seen it. Ta hasn't seen it. Has
Ah.
no idea.
Tyler's gonna be like, no, that's gonna
And-
blow. They're gonna
and they
kill us."
weren't
Tyler's
like-
laughing to himself.
They weren't like, yeah, go ahead, take your agent out and take a bunch of photos of our super secret underground
Yeah.
tank gun thing.
Well, I just
yeah,
imagine like
you guys
when
have like
Dexy
the
called-
full.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you. I was gonna say like we didn't sit there like going through like here's their entire like super villain lair like on Facebook Live kind of deal.
Yes.
I just imagine like when Toph first heard that plan, It's like, oh, we're gonna take a big gun, we're gonna shoot it into the city, and we're gonna take a train and put it into the wall. He's just like laughing in his head. It's like, okay, what's gonna be the real plan? Stop messing with us. What's gonna be the real plan? He's like, oh shit, that is the real plan. Okay.
Fuck, all right.
That is an act of desperation.
Yeah, totally. That is
But-
is absolutely a. All right, we got to do this. What is the thing that would send the loudest message? I know. Let's artillery their headquarters.
Yep.
Okay.
Good one.
So, combat skill, XP. This one was like more of a Dexy show. Like everything was kind of a Dexy show.
Dexy
Should
got to
get
shine.
Muy points.
Yeah.
Dexy gets 50 XP. That's not even on the chart. But
There's not even on this chart. 40's the max.
No, Dexy gets 50. He's not here very often. You gotta get.
That's true.
50.
That's
He's
true.
got to make up for it.
That's true.
What's he gonna do with all that XP? He's just gonna go back to the kitchen.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
cooking
gotta work
skill.
Play
on
instrument
skill,
is
yeah.
actually is gonna be
Yeah, play instrument. He's gonna learn how to play the harmonica
Yeah.
while cooking.
or the steel drums. There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm certainly down for Dexy having 40 XP. The did something
Yep.
incredible.
He definitely deserves it.
Yeah. Because this was going to be, like, I remember there was a point where y'all were like, oh my god, we're going to have to attack into this mountain. Like, this is a terrible idea.
I love
Boy, no.
missing all of the like crazy shit that goes down. Cause House is like, what are y'all doing, man? Just walk up and talk to him. Jesus.
Yeah.
The non-Silas missions are very different than the Silas missions.
Like, just go talk to him. What the?
Oh my god.
We tried. It didn't work out.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Y'all's first meet with Big Iron was squirrely. Okay.
That was my fault.
No, you're good.
There was some lead into before you started doing stuff, but yeah.
Many factors.
Yeah, there was a comedy of errors that went on, and Vinton was involved with some of those. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of warrior, socializer, explorer, role player. Any of y'all have specific tracks you'd like to be XP'd on?
Is that in Roll20? Is that a handout?
No, it's in the book.
It's on.
Oh, can I
It's on.
give it to
I'll
you in
send it in
Legend
the chat.
Keeper?
It's
I
probably...
should give it to you in Legend Keeper.
I put the page number in the chat of which, if you have the
Okay.
PDF up.
Yeah, let me go grab that.
Yep.
I didn't have the PDF up, but
216.
this might not be the right PDF because I only got 217 pages.
Oh, that's right. There was another one.
Oh no, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, that is
At the
it.
bottom.
It's just all the way at the end.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that Dexy Socializer, full marks on Socializer, 40 points for Dexy. I kind of feel like Silas was. I kind of feel like maybe you other three were more in the role player category today, except for maybe some exploration. Explorer, role player, I can see an argument for either one. There really wasn't any combat, and there wasn't like the big group mission today. This was more of a let's find out what our next mission is, which is apparently go nab a guy.
There's precedent. We can do this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we could do. We still have some hypo students left.
Yep.
I would honestly, at least for Ta, I would say only like 5 or 10. I really don't think I did any.
Yeah,
I made the
I'm
thing,
in a-
which is like maybe 10, but
I feel bad for you guys because y'all didn't have a lot of opportunity in this session.
no,
This
this is
was
good because if
perfectly
Ta
okay.
was in there, that would have been really bad. We would have had 2 people fighting at it, so it's probably good this way. It's probably good he took a step back. Maybe he deserved just the XP for not fucking shit up.
Yeah, how many XP do you get for not exploding a situation?
See, like normally I don't give out as a bonus XP, but like the Midnight Runners, I feel kind of need a gimme for being like in place, not trying to tear down walls with your chains, not trying to like affect the situation.
This is one of those rare moments. I'm going off of Vinton's though he's fully healed, is still very, very sore from
Sure.
surgery and all of that. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let the taco talk. If I hear Silas's gun go off, then I'll do something. I'm gonna take a nap on this mountain. So I'm okay with like 5 or 10. Like,
Yeah.
y'all just tell me if you need me.
I think, you know what? Reading the description for 20, I think is perfect for Ta and Vinton.
Yeah.
No. For which
I
one?
just read it.
For 20 on role
For
player.
Just something out of ordinary role playing.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, out of
That
the
works.
ordinary, doing nothing.
Sure.
Yeah, doing absolutely
Sure.
nothing.
Not killing somebody on accident.
Not
Yeah.
killing,
On purpose.
not
Or
adding
purpose.
to
Just
my...
not killing anybody.
Yeah.
Not killing anybody when nobody needed to be killed. You should. Good job. Good job, Tom.
You
Good
did
job, Vinton. You didn't commit an immoral act.
Is that okay? Does that mean? I don't think
Yeah.
it's...
No.
Okay.
No, actually, I think
No,
that's nicer
it's
than I was going to give myself. So
hilarious.
Okay. Cool.
I'm okay with that.
Where are
I'm
we
not
putting...
adding to my...
Where are we putting Silas?
I don't know, man. Wherever.
I think he deserves a little more
I,
than
s-
we
I
do.
sat there and looked tough.
You did a great job at that.
And
You also advanced some of the knowledge sharing.
made sure those fellows knew that when we said we'd go kidnap a fellow that we meant it.
That's true. That's true. Like there were a few key promises. Like one that Dexy knows people. That was like one of the most important promises in this session. And then the two that y'all had the chops to go nab a guy from Sacramento because they haven't been able to do that. Like that's outside of their skill set, and for you to walk in with that authority to say you can do it. I'm gonna say 30 because those.
Cool.
I know one of those was his, but like that was a critical promise on your part to be able to carry that. Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, everybody, that is the XP system. We give out tens of XP to people for doing good things. Sorry there wasn't a lot of combat this one, but I feel like we've had a dirge of combat. You know, we've had like a lot of combat lately. So maybe we needed a diplomatic session.
Not everything
It's
can
just,
be a
super high
bloodbath.
stress.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the characters don't last very long if you just bloodbath every episode, right? We gotta get some juice out of these. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're not West Marches anymore. We gotta keep these consistent. We can't
We're
just be
tired. We
popping
just
in and out all
moved
the
the
time.
camp. Yeah, we just got out of a very stressful situation. Someone just woke up from a coma. So like maybe going full 10 is not it was not a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta dial it back.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Good job. Good job. Okay, everybody at home, we're going to call it here. This has been High Shelf Gaming. This is like episode 23 of chapter 2 of our Cyberpunk game. We're going to be back again next Saturday. So I know we played Sunday tonight. We're going to be back again Saturday to pick up where we left off. Sounds like we're going to
That's one
go
less day.
kidnap a guy. Right?
Yeah.
Up
Hopefully
Paul's
alive.
alley. Talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are scary kidnappers. I'm just saying. Like, that is a Midnight Runners are good at this.
One of the things I explicitly picked my cybernetics for was bounty hunting.
Yeah.
So I explicitly built for this,
Yeah.
which I think I lost some of that in the rule update, but yeah, whatever.
I don't know about that. So we are.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Cave Geek Art is up. So, folks, we are going to raid a really cool streamer. They make like gaming maps out of like leather and canvas and stuff. Let's see here. Let me pull them up. Cave Geek Art. Oh yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna end this on a raid to this lovely guy.
His going live notification is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come watch me burn skin and rub my bone on it. it's so funny because I'm like, I mean, yeah, you're not. That is what it is. You're not mistaken.
Oh man. Oh, Nefarious Tarnus, I'm so sorry to hear that you just got here. We just wrapped up our Cyberpunk Red game for the night. We're gonna be back Saturday to kidnap somebody in Sacramento that has
Don't
done
even have to.
has done wrong by the Big Iron Gang, and we're gonna try and turn them back into the Big Iron Nomad family, which is what
Don't
they
even
really
have to
want
wait
to
a
be.
whole week. You just gotta wait
Something
6
wrong by
days.
us.
That's right.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. We're gonna do it.
And then the old Midnight Riders come back out.
That's
Scaring, we'll shoot you at the drop of a
Yeah.
hat.
Oh, you're about
They're
to
coming back. Don't you
scary
worry.
people.
They're coming back.
Don't worry.
All right.
Silas got business.
That's right. That's right. So we're gonna set up this to raid over to Cave Geek Art. This guy is really cool, making a bunch of maps and stuff. We're gonna hit the raid button right now. Everybody, thanks a ton for tuning in. This has been so much fun. As always, have fun and play well.